Getting you ready for game time. Join me, Sal from Behind the Arc Basketball, as I announce play-by-play. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe, because now we're about to go live. Entering the pregame, we now present Sal from Behind the Arc Basketball. And what's good, everybody? The moment that you've been waiting for, the 2023 National Championship game. And what a season it has been for college basketball. West Coast basketball meeting East Coast basketball in this matchup tonight to take the crown of the 2023 National Championship. And who will win the tournament and have one shining moment played for them at the very end. We get the number 5 seed, the San Diego State Aztecs, taking on the number 4 seed, the UConn Huskies, for this matchup here. What an incredible tournament it has been, coming down to this final game of March Madness, the NCAA tournament bracket, all for one big moment. One champion stands tall. After 363 total teams started off the season, 68 teams in the bracket, and only one can be crowned champions. As we're going to get rolling here right now in the pregame. If you guys are doing a stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe, and glad to have you guys back on board for the final college hoop stream of the 2022-2023 season, and this ought to be a good one tonight. UConn, an absolute machine, averaging, they are winning by basically 20 points per game. They are winning by that margin in this tournament, and average around 20 points per game. UConn record of 30-8. They are undefeated against non-conference teams, 19-0 against non-conference teams this season for the UConn Huskies. San Diego State, incredible tournament that they have gun in here for them. Back-to-back victories by 1 point, winning at the buzzer with Lamont Butler over Florida Atlantic, the Cinderella, to get here to the national championship game. And man, do we have a great one tonight. West Coast basketball with SDSU, their lockdown defense, going up against a UConn team. It's been incredibly balanced. Both of these teams super deep. San Diego State going to look to see if they can slow down the game, make this one just a grind-it-out type of matchup here. They won so many close games this season for the Aztecs. 9-game winning streak for the Mountain West Conference champions. UConn, at one point, they were 4-5 in Big East Conference play. They went through a massive skid back in January. 4-5 at 15-5 overall. They found themselves. After that, they've lost just 4 games by a combined 9 points. UConn's found themselves once again. They have 11 out of the 12 games that they've last played resulting in victories, and this ought to be a great one here. What's good, everybody? Mario, James, Raven, Vegas, Woody, Kelly, Alex, Bradley, Lucas, Derek, welcome on board, everybody. Daniel, welcome to the stream, guys. Make sure to hit us up in the chat. Who you guys liking this one today? San Diego State or UConn for this matchup to take the crown? UConn undefeated in national championship games all time. Perfect 4-0. Looking to make it 5-0 tonight for the Huskies. See if they can send the house down, rocking through Storrs, Connecticut once again. Winning in 1999, 2004, 2011. The last time they won in 2014. Last time that these two teams met up was in 2011 in the tournament, where UConn won en route to the national championship victory. It was Kemba Walker versus Kawhi Leonard. UConn versus San Diego State. And SDSU, first time ever in a national championship game. Ought to be a great one here. Packless, clutching the stream, welcome in. I got UConn for my prediction for this game. Just hoping for a really good matchup between these two teams. Braden, welcome back on board, bud. Yeah, Celtics gotta strongly keep Jaylen Brown, man. Gotta keep him. Like, all the rumors and stuff like that, just gotta flush those out. And his big games, like his games that he showed up for 40 plus, we know that he's a keeper because of that. Ward, welcome back to the stream, man. If you guys are new in the channel, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. It's going to be at 9:20 p.m. at tip-off time, so it's going to tip off in about 14 minutes from now, so we got a little bit of time here before the tip-off in this game. I think they're going to announce starting lineups in a little bit. Both of these teams super, super deep. UConn's got more of the balance between their offense and defense. Low-key defensively, UConn's been stellar in this bracket. And they've always been great offensively this season for the Huskies. And then San Diego State, they've been one of the best defenses all this season. That's how they got here. Just physical team, incredibly deep. They have multiple players who's able to lock down opposing players. And yeah, they're not going to let you get on a fast break in this game. This is going to be a good matchup. UConn has to take care of the basketball against a scrappy lockdown San Diego State squad. That San Diego State will not let UConn in this game get transition points. UConn flourishes off of points in transition. They're so fast in the fast break. But the Aztecs going to lock that down. San Diego State also going to look to see if they can lock up the perimeter as well. They had, before that Florida Atlantic game, they had been holding teams to just 17% from three. And it didn't look like they were going to get here at all at one point. I think there was like 16 minutes left to go against Florida Atlantic. San Diego State was down by 14 points. They came from behind and won. That was just a phenomenal comeback. They trailed for like 98% of the game. They came back and won because of their defense. Locking down in the final like 15 minutes or so to Florida Atlantic. And then down the stretch, just key defensive stops down the stretch to get them right back in. Lockdown to FAU, and they've been in these games all throughout the course of the season. Close victories. UConn crushing the competition. They are a machine. Destroying opponents left and right in the brackets. They won every single game by double digits. Just hoping for a great matchup here. Hopefully it's a close competitive one. Mario, welcome back in, man. This should be, hopefully a good one tonight. I got UConn to take it all. Just incredibly impressed by UConn. I actually had them in my initial bracket to the national championship. I had them runner-up, though, to Alabama. What San Diego State did, they beat Alabama. They put the world on notice in that game, knocking off the #1 overall seed. The left part of the bracket with San Diego State takes on the right part of the bracket with UConn. The left part of the bracket was like in shambles in this tournament. A lot of upsets on that left side. Arizona, Purdue. UConn facing the third #5 seed in the tournament. That is like unheard of, that you face 3 5 seeds en route to the national championship. UConn winning over the 13 seed Iona 87-63. They beat St. Mary's, the 5 seed, in the second round 70-55. They won over Arkansas, the 8 seed, 88-65. Beat Gonzaga 82-54. Gonzaga was a 3 seed, and they won over another 5 seed Miami in the Final Four on Saturday 72-59. What sticks out there is the defense for UConn, allowing Gonzaga to 54. Gonzaga, #1 scoring team, averaging 87 points per game this season, and then allowed Miami to 59. That's what really speaks volumes right there. That defense of UConn, how it's tightened up throughout the course of this tournament. And then San Diego State, how they've got here. Won a grind-out game against Charleston, the 12 seed, 63-57. Beat Furman, the 13 seed, 75-52. This is the one that we finally realized this team is for real for the Aztecs. They beat Alabama, came from behind, down by 9, and won 71-64. They won against Creighton in the Elite 8, 57-56. And then won against Florida Atlantic, trailed by 14 points, came back and won 72-71. I got UConn by 11 in this game. The line's at 7.5. Yep, so Bradley taking his cards to cut down the nets next season. We shall see. Gonna be hopefully another great tournament for years to come after this. And look at both of these head coaches. Brian Dutcher waited, I believe, 17 years for the moment for Brian Dutcher to become head coach of San Diego State. He took down the Fab Five in Michigan as an assistant coach at San Diego State. And he waited for his opportunity. Finally came time, I think it was 2017, for Brian Dutcher to get handed over the keys from Steve Fisher as the head coach. And here he is, 63 years old. First head coaching job at SDSU as a head coach in the national championship. And then Dan Hurley turning around Wagner in one season in his first Division I head coaching job. And then he came to URI. He took a URI team that was 8-21 in year one to 2 NCAA tournament appearances, which is really strong there for the program for URI, because before that they hadn't gone to many tournaments for years prior. I think the one prior to that was like 1998 with Lamar Odom. And then over at UConn, within the 5-year span, takes a team that had a lot of trouble in the American, was like a mid-pack team, basically took over like a massive mess with Kevin Ollie right before that. And Hurley came in 5 years at UConn, taking them from like a mid-pack team in the nation, playing in the American, to now in the Big East, and 40 minutes away from a national championship in year 5. Malika, welcome on back. Alright, Anthony on the stream. Welcome in, everybody. Favorite tournament game ever? Oh boy. Thinking about the ones I've streamed, I would have to go with Duke against UCF. That was like an instant classic. Zion against Taco in the second round from 2019. That was incredible. It's been some great games this tournament. I think hands down the best one was San Diego State, their comeback against Florida Atlantic on Saturday. I think that one was the best. There was some really good ones before as well, but I think that one tops it. Vern and Felix, welcome back, everybody. Make sure to hit the thumbs up if you guys are new. We're going to tip off in about 7 minutes from now. They're announcing starting lineups at this moment for the national championship. This is now my 4th national championship that I've streamed on the channel, dating all the way back to Virginia against Texas Tech in year number 1 when I had 75 subscribers in 2019. Gonzaga against Baylor in 2021, right after the pandemic. Baylor won 86-70. I think at that time I had probably 6,000 or 8,000 subs. And then last year I was around 19,000. We're up to almost 24,000 subs here at the channel. Last year was 19K we had for subs when I streamed. Kansas in their 18-point comeback over UNC to 8 seed. El Hombre, welcome in. Yeah, there hasn't been an overtime tournament this yeah, I don't believe so. I don't believe there's been an overtime tournament game this year. That's correct. Yeah, last year had the TCU-Arizona game went into overtime. Joanne, welcome back in. Yep, that is right. Jim Nantz, absolute legend. Final collegiate game of the NCAA tournament that he is calling tonight for Jim Nantz. One of my favorite sports broadcasting icons of all time. Well deserved for Jim Nantz on the biggest stage of all collegiate sports. Starting lineups for San Diego State being announced. Nathan Mensah in the front court. Lamont Butler, number 5, hit the game winner. G Money, welcome back in. This ought to be a great one tonight. San Diego State's going to wear the black uniforms for this matchup. UConn, once again, with the white jerseys. Darian Trammell in the backcourt. Wow, JL, welcome in. So, yep, Cassius Winston, Michigan State in the Elite Eight when he knocked off Duke and Zion and RJ. Wow, yeah, that was a great game. There was a lot of great games. Like, every single game that was great in that tournament featured Duke. Duke won two games down to the wire against UCF and then Virginia Tech in back-to-back games in that bracket. Hey, that's awesome for UG money. Incredible. That's right. Yeah, thanks so much for the update, Ryan. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. That was great, that game. K-State, Michigan State. Troy, Sister Sorrel, welcome back in the stream, everybody. UConn comes in as a 7.5-point favorite. That's the largest point spread since 2010 in the national championship. Over under at 131 for this matchup today. Alex Caravan for UConn. He's in his first season. A lot of these key players are in their first year. Caravan, Calcaterra, and then Donovan Clingan at 7'2". Runs the floor exceptionally well. And he's only averaging around 13 minutes per game, and he's been putting up monster numbers. Looking like shades of Walker Kessler in the future. Adama Sanogo, Alex Caravan, Tristan Newton, the point guard for UConn. He transferred over from East Carolina in the offseason. Jordan Hawkins, good to go tonight. He was under the weather in the last game. Jordan Hawkins struggled early on in that game. Wasn't himself as he was dealing with the flu for Hawkins. And Andre Jackson picked up 2 personal fouls. But either way, as bad of as a start that you could have for UConn, still able to win by double digits against Miami on Saturday. And then Andre Jackson, he has been a stud in this tournament. 38 total assists to just 8 turnovers in the bracket. Blake Burt, welcome on the stream, everybody. Dan Hurley, head coach for UConn. What a road to get here for Dan Hurley, coaching UConn basketball. He'd been like in the shadow of his brother Bobby for a long time. He went to college at Seton Hall, whereas Bobby was just an all-star player during his career at Duke. So he was overshadowed by his brother, and once he went through some rough times when he was in college too at Seton Hall for him, but just incredible how he's able to turn around programs in a 5-year clip here for UConn. What he has done has been phenomenal. Yep, so Michigan State, Kansas State, that was the game that went into overtime. So UConn looking to see if they can be as dominant as they have been throughout this entire bracket. Double-digit victories over all 5 teams. They are undefeated in the non-conference slate, 19-0. 19-0 against teams not inside the Big East this season. Only team that UConn struggled against was Xavier. Xavier beat UConn twice, so they went 0-2 against Xavier. A lot of the teams that they lost against were teams that can score. And that's when their defense was struggling. They were allowing like 80-plus points back in January against teams like Xavier, Marquette, St. John's. And now their defense is really tightened up. 59 points to Miami, 54 points against Gonzaga. Those are 2 teams that rank inside the top 30 in scoring. Gonzaga's the #1 offense in all college basketball. Just simply impressive here with UConn that they know exactly what their identity is. All right, here we go. 9:20 p.m. We know what time that is for. It is tip-off time, everybody. Let's go. If you guys are new to the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe to National Championship 2023 NRG Stadium, Houston, Texas. Black uniforms for San Diego State. They're going right to left on the floor. UConn with the white jerseys for this matchup. They are going left to right for the Huskies. as this will be Sanogo and Mensah going up for the opening tip. And here we go. UConn controls the opening tip. Huskies with the first possession. Newton at the edge of the midcourt logo moves it over to Caravan. San Diego State looking to force turnovers early on in this game. UConn struggled with 14 turnovers against Miami. Still picked up a double-digit victory. Pass deflected, out of bounds. It goes. It will stay UConn ball. That's the way that San Diego State's going to have to operate. Limit UConn forced turnovers and get them into lower amount of shots in this game if they want to have a chance. San Diego State will have to draw out the shot clock as well. Inbound over to Jackson. Jackson off to Sanogo. Handoff Hawkins. Hawkins. Jumper. 18-footer straight away. Swoosh. That's a make there by Jordan Hawkins. He's all right. He's good to go. Just like how he started in the last game. Not 3 that time. He's got a deep 2 though. First possession now for the Aztecs. They like to take their time with the ball. Mensah. Handoff top of the key to Matt Bradley. He had 11 points in the first 5 minutes against Florida Atlantic. Here's a 3 at the wing. That's good. Lamont Butler knocks it down, sinks it through. It's 3-2. Pick it off where he left off with a game winner against FAU. First minute through action. UConn possession number 2. Hawkins dribbles towards his right, hands it off to Newton. His pass, far side, picked up on the floor by Jackson. Jackson top of the key, guarded by Bradley. Moves it over to Newton. Back outside to Jackson. Sails to the backcourt. Jackson. That's a backcourt violation as he stepped in the backcourt line. Couldn't save it in time. Turnover, UConn. Jake on the stream, welcome in. Jason, welcome back in, brother. If you guys are new, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Inbound for San Diego State. They go to the backcourt here with Lamont Butler. Butler guarded at the left wing perimeter by Hawkins. 10 on the shot clock for Butler. 18:40 left to go on the game clock. Butler dribbles up inside the mid-block, rolls around, has to get the pass off, lost it out of bounds off the fingertips of Jackson with the baseline, and lucky that the Aztecs will get it back. 18:33 left to go. That was a botched possession right from the start there as Butler slipped in the hardwood, tumbled down at the right block, and they're just lucky that they're able to get the basketball here. Underneath the hoop, they will inbound it for SDSU. 2 Mangoes, Chada. Welcome in, everyone. We're just getting started. First minute and a half through action so far. So this will be Aztecs basketball. They will put 3.5 seconds on the shot clock. So 3.5 seconds on the shot clock, 18:33 in the game clock. Yeah, things going pretty well. Welcome in, Ron, in the stream. Inbound underneath for San Diego State. Hawkins will guard the inbounds. Looking to inbound it. It will go around the perimeter to Kashad Johnson. 18 on the shot clock, so they put more time back on the shot clock. Corner 3-4 stop. It is good. Rattles in. That's a tough shot there. Fade away from the corner by Darian Trammell. 6-2 SDSU. What a start with 2 made threes. One by Butler, one by Trammell in the first minute and 45 seconds for the Aztecs. UConn with the ball. A lot of orangey red colors out in the stands. Black and red. The Aztec fans well in attendance in this matchup. Sanogo pivot. Puts it up and he puts it through over Mensah for 2. Good at the right block to drop. Adama Sanogo leading his team to a 20-0 record when he scores at least 20 points in his UConn career. Bounce pass off the roll down, Kashad Johnson. Johnson backs his way to low post. Johnson, turnaround, tough shot, got it over Caravan. 2 more to board for the Aztecs. Efficient. Great start here for SDSU. Newton being pressured in the backcourt by Trammell. Trammell top 10 in steals this season in the Mountain West. Top of the key, Jackson moves it out to his right to Hawkins. Lobs it off to Sanogo. Sanogo at the right block, 12 on the shot clock. Sanogo working on Mensah one-on-one. Backs his way, 10 on the shot clock. Sanogo moves it out to the top. Newton launches a 3. Newton missed off the rim, tipped up, and Mensah comes out with a defensive rebound. You couldn't ask for a better start here for the Aztecs. 8-4 in the first 3 minutes of action so far. Bradley at the top of the key. Bounce pass, left elbow to Mensah. Mensah over Sanogo, takes the jumper, airballed it, and it goes back to Newton. UConn looks to push it. Newton attacks inside the low block. Newton shovels Jackson, floats it up. Jackson scores through for 2. It's a 2-point game. 8-6, UConn able to run the floor, come up with that one. Andre Jackson just so good all over the floor. Well-balanced player. He can do everything. He's the only player in this tournament with 30-plus assists. Or 30-plus assists with also a good amount of rebounds and a good amount of points as well. Turnaround jumper mid-range drops down for Matt Bradley. We got scoring here so far in this game. 16:20 remaining. Sanogo at the top. Sanogo inside a key. His pass goes to Jackson. And we have the first foul of the game. So reach and fall picked up on the outside by San Diego State. The clock will stop with 16:15. Really promising start for the Aztecs here. Not known for their scoring, putting up 10 points in the first 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Bank, that is good at the right block. Tristan Newton up and off the glass for 2. Score and response so far. It's been a great one. 16 minutes left to go in the first. 4 minutes to action so far. Hand off to the wing. Bradley. Jackson by 3. Bradley. Off the rim, no good. Rebound ripped away by Sanogo. Here goes UConn with an outlet. A head off the fingertips, though. A Caravan. It's a turnover. Second turnover to game by UConn. And that's going to lead us to the first timeout in the night. Media timeout number 1 tonight. 15:47 left to go in the first. Is San Diego State 10, UConn 8. Alright, if you guys are new in the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Hit us up in the chat who you guys got for this one tonight. SDSU or UConn, make sure to type it in. Vote in the poll as well, who you guys like. A lot of points so far in this game. Next stream, I plan on coming back tomorrow covering the Celtics against Sixers. So this is the last game for college. After this, it'll be a lot more NBA streams since we're coming up close in the playoffs. So feel free to come on board tomorrow night. 8 o'clock Eastern time, Celtics and Sixers. Big game in the NBA. Boston, number 2 in the East. Philadelphia, number 3. Hey, thanks so much, Edward, for joining in. Yup, East Coast against West Coast. Welcome back, Rich Raz, in the stream. Both teams with 4 scores so far each in the starting 5. San Diego State making 2 threes in the early going. Lamont Butler and Darian Trammell with 1 3-point shot each. 2 points each by Kashad Johnson and Matt Bradley. UConn, 2-point spread around between 4 players. Sanogo, Hawkins, Newton, and Jackson. Early turnover struggles for UConn. That's a difference maker so far. 2 turnovers for the Huskies. One of those was a backcourt violation. And the Aztecs yet to turn it over. That's been like the only weakness this season as of late for UConn, when in the past month and a half to 2 months has been the turnovers. They rank around 230 in the nation in turnover percentage rate this season. Tyler, welcome to stream, man. Yeah, it's pretty low in terms of the ceiling in here, but I'm not like a super tall person, so it doesn't affect me at all. Yeah, really good start to this game. Roy, welcome back in. Tristan, glad to have you back in the stream, bud. All eyes on the national championship tonight. This is the only game being played for basketball. San Diego State, 8 made field goals, this is combined so far, this game. 8 made field goals by 8 different players combined in this entire game so far. 4 players for each team making a shot from the floor. UConn 4 for 5, San Diego State 4 for 6. Yeah, things going pretty well. Andrew, welcome in. Also, if you haven't checked out the buzzer beater video before, I get that up on the videos tab to my homepage. I'll probably post the link at halftime or so once we finally get to like halftime of this game. We get back to action. 15:47 left to go in the first. It will be Aztecs basketball right to left in the floor for San Diego State. They have a couple substitutions into the game. Number 33, Ugwak Arope receives the touch of the low block. First time into the game. Arope takes the jumper, right hook, missed off the mark. Rebound at the corner, and nice heads-up play there by Tristan Newton. Pinned it right off of Arope, and it went out of bounds. So this will be UConn basketball. That's heads-up basketball there by Newton. Inbound for UConn. They get the same starting five that they started off with. San Diego State incredibly deep. They go 9 players deep. UConn the same thing, 9 players deep, but more so 8. Hassan Diarra is the number 9 scorer on the team. That's called an offensive foul. Tristan Newton runs right over Darian Trammell. Trammell takes the charge. Offensive foul. First one of the game charge to UConn. Picked up by Newton. Yeah, Newton lowering the left shoulder as he worked his way into the key on Trammell. He made the bucket, but it's not going to count as he picked up his first personal. Inbound back to the Aztecs. 15-10 left to go in the first. San Diego State with the ball. Top of the key with Arope. Into the hands to Bradley. Bounce pass Arope now. Top of the free throw circle. Arope working on Caravan. Handoff. Passing off to a cutter. Blocked by Sanogo as he denies Arope, and it goes out of bounds. This will be UConn possession. Adama Sanogo making a huge defensive stop there with 14:52 left. Great stuff by Sanogo. Defenses now start to tight up. 10-8 the score. UConn takes it past midcourt with Newton. Lob down low, Sanogo. Sanogo double teamed inside the post. Sanogo, tough shot, he got it. Leading towards his right with a right-handed hook. We're even at 10. 14.5 left to go in the first. We'll see if San Diego State's offense can keep up with this production by UConn throughout the course of the game. Nathan Mensah, top of the key. Hands it off to Adam Seco, first time on the floor. Bounce pass down low, Arope working on Caravan. Arope over Caravan, no good. Off the rim, offensive rebound, blocked from behind by Caravan. Another board, tipped up in the air. Hawkins came up with it. It's Newton who comes to it. Was Newton who gets knocked down in midcourt as well. Pesky UConn defense crashing the glass and tipping it up on a second chance opportunity by San Diego State as the Aztecs pick up their second personal. Adama Sanogo, top scorer in the game now. He's got 4. If UConn wins this tournament, very well going to see Sanogo most likely be the tournament MVP. Inbound goes to Jackson. 14 minutes left to go in the first. Jackson at the edge of the midcourt logo, looking to get it off into the hands of Naheem Aline. First time on the floor today for the transfer from Virginia Tech. Jackson, bounce pass. Sanogo receives it. Behind the defense, lays it up and in. 6 points now by Sanogo. Jackson first assist of the night. Jackson's been a tremendous all-around player for this team. For UConn, point forward, utility guy. Wasn't the prettiest type of pass there. It actually hit like the bottom left shin. UConn was lucky. They got a break there from that call. That could have been a kicked ball violation by San Diego State. That was close. But they called it an assist by Jackson as Sanogo stayed with it. He was behind the Aztec defense and stayed with it and scored. Donovan Clingan, first time in the game. Oh man, he is a menace right now, and he did pick up the reach and fall though. Jaden, oh no, that's a travel. Jaden Ladie, so Clingan not called in the reach and fall. That's on Ladie, called in the travel, too many steps. This is going the arrow in UConn's direction. That's what Clingan could do. He affects the game with his size at 7'2". Perfect defense right there, forcing Ladie into too many steps in the key with that pivot foot. And the ball gets deflected out of bounds. Last touch by San Diego State. Joe, welcome in. Yeah, going pretty well. 13:24 left to go. UConn will get the inbound near side of the floor. First time out to the floor for Donovan Clingan, 7'2". We see how. We'll see if he gets involved here in this play. Top of the key with Jackson. Jackson on the floor with Hawkins, Aline, Caravan, and Clingan. Clingan missed the shot off the top of the glass. No good. A rebound over to the Aztecs. San Diego State with the ball. Top of the key with Arope. Arope dribbles up to the elbow. Arope handoff to Parrish. Micah Parrish towards his right. Step back three in the air over Jackson. Around the rim and out, tipped up, and the rebound goes to Hawkins. Hawkins up the floor, passing off the roll down. Klingon up and no good. It's going to be an offensive foul. He scored on it, but they're not going to give him the bucket. Klingon picks up his first personal. That's the second charge taken of the game. That is Lamont Butler who takes the charge. Turnover by UConn and Donovan Klingon. That's a big 7'2" body that just rammed right over Butler, who took the charge in the low post. Butler at just 6'2". Wow. 1 foot difference maker there. And you pick up a massive, massive play like that and change the game to the possession arrow back to the Aztecs. That is huge. San Diego State with the ball. Off the screen, up fake with Seiko. Seiko bounce pass down low over to Ladie. Ladie, tough shot, mid-range. Missed off the mark, tipped up in the corner. Rebound controlled by Newton of UConn. Newton dribbles past midcourt. 12.5 left to go. Pick set by Klingon. Newton drives to the elbow. Passes outside to Caravan. Caravan lob to Klingon. Klingon working his way mid-block. Klingon backs his way to Ladie. Klingon out to the top. It goes Newton. Takes a three. Off the front rim. No good. Offensive rebound over to Newton. Off the three, it was by Ali, number 4, actually. Missed jumper to baseline. Skipped around the rim and out by Calcaterra. San Diego State, hot start in the game. They led 10-8, but they missed the last 7 shots on the floor. Make it 8 as they missed that 3 at the wing. Rebound UConn. So exactly how the last game went. They started off hot. They led 14-5 against FAU, and then after that they cooled off, but able to come from behind and pick it up. 11:40 left to go. Both of these teams getting exhausted quite a bit because we're below the next media timeouts. Scoring draft for SDSU in the last 5 minutes. Calcaterra dribbles towards his left. Calcaterra burst of speed, floats it up over the top. There's Klingon. Throws it down with a two-handed alley-oop flush. Calcaterra with an assist. That's fresh legs in the floor with Joey Calcaterra just using his speed right around the screen, turning the corner. 11:15 left to go. UConn on an 8-zip scoring run last 5 minutes. San Diego State missing the last 8 shots on the floor. They turned it over. Stripped inside. A key turnover by Ladie. Goes right back to UConn. 11 minutes left. Attacking inside the paint. Caravan off the glass. No good. And that will be charged as a blocking foul, I believe, here on the floor. Charged to Ladie. So we take a timeout on the floor right now. 14-10 the score. UConn 10-0 run they are on in the last 5+ minutes in this matchup here. 11 minutes left to go in the first as we take the timeout. All right, second media timeout of the night, and wow, what a game we've got. San Diego State got to find some answers offensively. Donovan Klingon coming in. Yep, he is just giving the Aztecs a mismatch issue right now. Klingon with the alley-oop jam off the bench. He forced a travel violation by San Diego State. He's also got a steal. Donovan Klingon making a big impact when he's out there on the floor. He runs the floor so well for his size. 7'2". I don't expect him to go to the draft because he hasn't played that much this year for him, but when he's played, the numbers are like solid for him. He's averaging around 13 minutes per game, but he's scoring around like 7 points per game in a 13-minute clip for Klingon. He's been just sensational. CA King Markey, welcome in. If you guys are new in the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well. San Diego State has cooled off offensively. They're just 31% shooting right now. They started off hot. They were up 10-6 at one point. Yeah, so he's only a freshman. He's from Connecticut, Klingon himself. It just speaks to the volumes of UConn with their program under head coach Dan Hurley and the development program that they have for these players. Like, he's playing 3 freshman players in this game who's all made an impact so far. Caravan's got a block. Klingon had that alley-oop jam. And then the assist on that was Joey Calcaterra. All 3 players are freshmen. Sanogo's the top scorer with 6. Rosario, welcome back in. It's been close all throughout. This is the largest lead of the game. San Diego State got out to an early lead. It was UConn who got the first bucket with Hawkins 2-0. After that, it was San Diego State, though. The Aztecs were up 3-2, and then they led as many by... Oh, they led as many by 4 as well. They were up 10-6, and now it's 14-10. Yeah, so I actually misspoke. It's an 8-zip run by UConn last 5 minutes plus. So 11 minutes left to go. We're going to head back to action here after the timeout. Yeah, I think it's going to hurt UCLA and USC. There's so much travel time that, like, these are only college students. They have to balance out academics, and they're going to be playing conference games over at Maryland, Penn State, and Rutgers. You have to fly all the way across the country. That's just so difficult. Bob Huggins knows it best because West Virginia currently plays like they travel the longest distance out of any team at the power conference level for them. West Virginia to Big 12 country. Both of the free throws good as we come back from the timeout by UConn. And that's Alex Caraban who makes both of the shots at the line. 10:45 left to go. San Diego State with a possession. Largest deficit of the game. Jumper missed off the front rim, tipped up, and they get the offensive rebound, though. Aztecs still with a possession. Second chance opportunity here. Pass deflected, intercepted by UConn, by Calcaterra, right to the rim. He missed it, got knocked down. No call by the referees. They say play on about that call. San Diego State with the ball. They look to push it, and we get a blocking foul. That's picked up by Klingon, and the clock will stop with 10:24. Yeah, they won't show that replay on Calcaterra going in for the layup as he got knocked down, but Klingon picks up his second personal foul now as he was contesting the shot from Kashaw Johnson. So San Diego State's got tremendous front court depth on their team. They're trying as much as they can to put Klingon and Sanogo into deep foul trouble. Right now, they've got Klingon with 2. Sanogo yet to pick up a personal so far, but Klingon's been the one who's picked up the more mismatch issues on the floor. So Klingon back on the bench at the moment as Johnson makes the first one, and then the second one is good. So Sanogo's back in the game. So Klingon's going to be on the bench for quite a bit of time here remaining in the first half. 10:20 left to go. Naheem Aline running the point now for UConn. Sends it out to the left wing to Tristan Newton. Newton dribbles up to the free throw circle. His lob went off of Aline back to Newton. Almost travel with it. Sanogo hand off to Newton. Newton turns the corner. Newton jumper mid-range. Hit rim short. Rebound. Tap to the perimeter. And San Diego State comes down with it. Down by 4 to Aztecs with it as we get a tie up here right at midcourt. And possession arrow will be Aztecs. .951 left. Been a grind of a game so far. Started off hot scoring, but both of these teams have really cooled off last couple, quite a bit of time actually. San Diego State especially, they are 0 for 9 after starting off the game 4 for 5. Darian Trammell dribbles past midcourt for the Aztecs. 9:40 left to go before halftime. Trammell at the left wing perimeter, guarded by Newton. Bounce pass to the top, three-point shot contested, missed off the back rim by the Aztecs, and the rebound goes to Hawkins for UConn. Newton, lob out to the right corner. Jackson dribbles baseline, swings it out to the top, off to Aline. Aline pro hop into the key, takes the mid-range shot, got it. Naheem Aline 3 for 2, and the Aztecs searching for answers with their offense. 0 for 10 last 10 shot attempts. 9-10 left to go. UConn up by 6, largest lead. Handoff at the top to Bradley. Bradley bounce pass down low, deflected, intercepted by Sanogo. Here goes the Huskies with it. Newton, pass midcourt, bounce pass Hawkins, up fake at the left wing. Hawkins, lob off to Sanogo, top of the free throw circle, bounce pass Hawkins. Hawkins attacks inside the paint with a left hand. Scoop score, up and in off the backboard. Good for 2 by Jordan Hawkins. They extend it up by 8 for UConn. And a timeout taken on the floor by Brian Dutcher in San Diego State. Adama Sanogo with the assist. Jordan Hawkins, nice curl and turn receiving the pass, cutting right to the hoop. Off Sanogo, standing around the free throw circle. And UConn balanced on both sides of the basketball right now with an 8-point lead, and the Aztecs in trouble. There's only so much you could do when you're led by your defense all throughout the season. You got to figure out ways to score, and right now, San Diego State has just not found any answers. They are 4 for 15 shooting, just 27%. After starting off 4 for 5, they have cooled off drastically right now. And UConn's also got the advantage on the glass, 10-7 for UConn. So UConn currently leading the glass and limiting San Diego State. And that's the thing that UConn's going to do. They force Gonzaga to take higher shots, or the lower percentage shots than usual away from the rim. Same as Miami. They took them into both of those opponents that they played. They took them into more like the mid-range type of shots and three-point range and forced them to beat you from there, because UConn would take away everything at the rim. And that's what they're starting to do once again. And San Diego State isn't efficient enough to knock down those type of shots. I saw highlights of it yesterday. I was actually out throughout most of the day yesterday, so I didn't see it live. Yeah, I saw the highlights of that yesterday for the Women's Championship game. Yeah, Matt Bradley's been playing. He hasn't got a whole lot of shot attempts today for Bradley. So, yeah, he's been silent throughout this game. He's just got 2 points right now. Jeffrey on the stream. David, welcome in. Sanogo, the top player, he's got 6 points currently. There hasn't been like one guy who's taken over this game so far. Jordan Hawkins now up to 4. Sanogo and Hawkins are perfect though. They're shooting the ball perfect, 5 for 5 combined, 10 points each combined. 10 points combined each. Sanogo with 6, Hawkins with 4. Tristan Newton's got 5 rebounds for UConn, which is uncharacteristic. I got UConn in this one by 11. I think it was 70. 74-63. San Diego State 0 for 4 from 3 on the stretch. 0 for 6 from 2. We're going to have to find answers here as we get back to action. 8:40 left to go before halftime. SDSU with a possession. Matt Bradley back into the game. Bradley, jumper, step back, baseline, no good. Skipped around the rim and out. Rebound goes to Sanogo. Over to Jackson, look to push tempo. Jackson stops at the right wing. Gives the ball off to Newton at the edge of the logo. Newton off to Sanogo, top of the key. Sanogo handoff Newton. 8:15 left to go. UConn 8-point lead, looking to build it with a bucket here. They go up the first lead by double digits. They do. It drops in with a friendly bounce at the free throw circle off the jumper. That is a make for the Huskies to go up by 10. That is good by Naheem Aline. He has gotten stronger throughout the course of the tournament. Naheem Aline, a 2-year starter at Virginia Tech, averaged around 9 points per game last season for the Hokies, made the buzzer beater jumper, forced overtime in the first round against Florida in 2021, came to UConn where he's only averaging around 4 points per game but averaging above 7 in this bracket. Missed jumper by San Diego State. They are now 0 for 12 in their last 12 shot attempts on the floor. UConn at the top, Sanogo. Handoff Newton, 7.5 left to go. Newton outside Hawkins off the catch, fires a 3, missed rim short. Rebound controlled by Bradley. Bradley takes up the floor. Bradley with a 3 at the wing over Hawkins. No good. He got fouled, though, and that will be 3 coming up at the line. So, Matt Bradley, 3 shots. Bad blocking call picked up by Jordan Hawkins, contesting the 3. And this will be a timeout taken before. So we go on a media timeout. San Diego State on a 8-minute scoring drought approximately. San Diego State had the lead. UConn has outscored SDSU 16-2 on that run right now. So after a 10-6 lead, it's now been 16-2 UConn. Yeah, they're on a massive scoring drought. They were pretty solid at the free throw line, so right now they're a perfect 2 for 2. They were great against Florida Atlantic. Actually, no, I take that back. They were good at the first stage of the game. At late stage, their numbers dropped significantly in that game. So I remember early on they were hitting their free throws, but in the late stage they couldn't buy one towards like the final 3 minutes. But Bradley was solid last game at the free throw line. So he'll shoot 3 coming up because these are 3 crucial free throws because you got to have 15 on the board here. If you're the Aztecs, you need to get 15 on the board ASAP with these shots coming up. Alan, welcome back in, bud. Yeah, Alan Breed. It's unfortunate. Just hopefully that man can get some help for him. I think it's going to be tough now for him to start playing basketball again with the charges that he's facing. Yeah, I got the Bruins there, but I've got both the Bruins and the Celtics to win the championship, but that's coming from somebody who lives in state. But both have been spectacular this season. Hey, what's good? William, welcome in from Maine. Thanks so much for stopping by. Yeah, I heard it snowed up in New Hampshire. I heard from somebody that I worked with yesterday that he was up in New Hampshire for the weekend, but he's up like way north towards the Canadian border. He went up, I think it was like Pittsburgh. He went up all the way up there, bordering Canada. I'm actually from Massachusetts, if you guys didn't know, so we haven't had snow in a while up here, but I know there's still like a good amount of snow cover once you get further up north in New England. So 3 free throws coming up the line. This is going to be Matt Bradley for San Diego State. Yeah, thanks so much for joining in, Bill. Bradley makes the first one, so now Bradley with 3. Second free throw is no good. He'll have one more coming up. Jordan Hawkins picked up the personal foul. And And free throw number 3 is good. So we got 2 out of 3 that trip. So 22-14. 7:15 left to go. UConn with possession. Newton bounce pass. Jackson lob down low. Sanogo. Sanogo backdoor got fouled. And here's 2 coming up at the free throw line by Sanogo. Yeah, we got a lot of like good hockey programs over in like Massachusetts. I know up in like New Hampshire and Maine, they got like that's what they're known for is hockey. Like throughout New England too. Like the Beanpot that plays every year between the Boston teams is massive for attendance. First shot is good by Sanogo. Sanogo the top scorer with 7. Second shot, no good off the back rim. Jackson tapped it over to the wrong player, though. Tried to tap it back out to the perimeter, landed to the hands of Butler of San Diego State. 7 minutes left to go. Down by 9 for the Aztecs. Butler passes on top over to Mensah. Mensah towards his right around the perimeter, guarded by Caravan. Hands it off. Butler swings it out to the wing. Lob goes to Mensah. Mensah at the low block, working on Caravan. Mensah, tough pass right there. It looked like he was going to go into a left turnaround hook shot, and he made a ridiculous pass, point-blank range to his teammate, and that did not work out in that favor. Jordan Hawkins spots up for 3, and he makes it as UConn takes their largest lead of the game, 26-14. That's just a bad turnover there that San Diego State just got obliterated on the opposite side of the ball off of that, and UConn made them pay. SDSU open 3, and they cannot make an uncontested 3. Offensive rebound underneath will lead to the shooting foul. And this will be 2 shots coming up at the free throw line from Mensah for the Aztecs. Hawkins rising for the J, and the 3 just made. That all started off the terrible pass down inside the key. I have no clue what in the world San Diego State was doing right there in that possession. You had an opportunity for a hook shot. It looked like he was going to go up to the left-handed hook, and he made a pass with his teammate standing 5 feet away from him inside the key right in front. So here's Mensah at the free throw line, the first one he makes. We have 6:08 left to go before half. Second shot by Mensah. And off the mark, no good. Sanogo pulls down the defensive rebound. And it got knocked out of bounds by Parrish of the Aztecs. So 6:06 left to go. 22 possessions for San Diego State. They have just 4 field goals. They're shooting 4 for 18, and they've committed 6 total turnovers. That's just rough. Down by 11. Chance for UConn to build off of this possession. Here goes the Huskies at the top. Deep range three. Caravan around, and it will bounce. No good off the back rim. Unlucky bounce by Caravan. Battle for the rebound. Gets knocked out of bounds. Great effort by Sanogo. And it will stay UConn possession. Inbound out to the wing to Jackson, into the hands to Caravan. 5:45 left to go. Caravan lobbed out low. Sanogo gathers, puts it up, no good. Got knocked down, no call, but the referee's there from behind. San Diego State with the ball. Bradley kick out to the wing, catch and fire 3 off the back rim, missed by Seiko. Tipped up, rebound, control for the Aztecs as we have the ball getting tapped out of bounds by UConn, and it will stay Aztecs ball. Caravan lost the shoe in the process, has to run back towards the midcourt logo to get his shoe. 5:32 left. It will be San Diego State inbound. 5 personal fouls so far for both of these teams. Inbound goes to Seiko. Handoff. Floating up the shot. That is good. Finally, an 11-minute scoring drought is over for the Aztecs as they pull win at 9. 5:15 left. Sanogo top of the key. Handoff to Newton. Newton. Spin move into the key. Takes a tough jumper. He's got it. Off the spin inside. 11-point lead, UConn. 5 minutes left to go before halftime. And that pass deflected, intercepted. Here goes UConn off the steal, right to the rim. That is good. Tristan Newton up and off the backboard. 2 points off the Aztecs turnover. 30-17. This UConn team an absolute machine. San Diego State with their offense, familiar territory to where they were in the last game. They were down by 14 against FAU. They came back and won, but this UConn team just so solid. Sanogo deflects the pass, goes out of bounds. It will stay Huskies ball, or it will stay Aztecs ball. 4:29 left. These turnovers by the Aztecs have just been brutal, and UConn's making them pay for every single one of those turnovers. 7 turnovers compared to 5 field goals made. 17 points with under 4.5 minutes left to go before half. They need something here. Trammell at the left wing. Jacks up a tough 3. Missed off the back from Caravan. Tips it up over to Jackson for the defensive rebound. Here goes UConn looking to push it. Bounce past Jackson. Sets up Newton. Deep range 3. He sinks it. Bang, bang. Tristan Newton from downtown lights it up for the 28-footer. 33-17. The whole left corner side of the screen rocking with UConn fans right now as they are rocking in stores. Under 4 minutes left to go before halftime. 3-point shot straight away. Swoosh for the Aztecs. Really needed that one with 3:48 left. UConn by 13 will bring it up the floor. Tristan Newton. Bounce pass off to Jackson. 3:35 remaining. Into the hands of Sanogo, top of the key. Bounce pass off to his right to Calcaterra. Calcaterra, his pass intercepted. Jumping the route with a steal. Trammell to the rim. Trammell missed the layup, no good. It gets rebounded by Calcaterra. Missed a wide open layup, contested at the late stage from behind. Calcaterra with a 3. Bang, bang, a laser beam. He drills it. An 11-point opportunity changes into a 16-point lead once again for the Huskies. 3:05 left to go. Aztecs in trouble. Out to the top it goes. San Diego State lost the handle on the basketball. Oh, they turned it over. Here they go. 2 men on the fast break. Sanogo. Bounce pass. Tapped away, and it went off of him last. It will go back to the Aztecs. Almost had a chance to pull up with an 18 right there if they were able to score off of that fast break. Jackson to the trail from behind. Calcaterra. Calcaterra lighting it up from the perimeter. With his first made 3 of the game. We take the timeout on the floor right now. 2:55 left to go before halftime. It's UConn 36, San Diego State 20. This is looking like a final score for football right now. If you guys are new in the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell as well. What a statement here for UConn. They've been destroying teams in and out throughout this bracket. And they've just found their identity so balanced, so deep. What's good? The real deal. Welcome in. Yeah, it's just been tough for the Aztecs. San Diego State just 6 made field goals for the Aztecs, and they have 8 total turnovers in this first half. They have just 2 assists to 8 turnovers in this first half. They went on an 11-minute scoring drought at one point. When you go on a scoring drought like that, it's just so tough to beat this UConn team. UConn has just so many moving pieces on the squad. 9 points by Tristan Newton. He is the top scorer right now. UConn's a perfect 4-0 in the national championship game, so they've never lost. They only lost once in the Final Four, That was to Michigan State in 09. So they've won every single national championship they've competed in. 1999, 2004, 2011, 2014. That's 4 championships in the last under a 25-year clip. Just sensational. So Newton's got 9. 7 each by Sanogo and Hawkins. And both of them are shooting efficient, 3 for 4 from the floor. Yeah, it's UConn's been undefeated against non-conference teams. It's just nobody from the conference knows how to play this type of team. And then in the Big East, you have just so much more intel on how to play a team and how like a certain coach coaches in the conference. I cannot believe that UConn lost twice to Xavier this season. This is a team that lost to Xavier twice, the only team they couldn't beat. They lost to Marquette twice. Lost to Providence once. Lost to St. John's by 11. That was their worst loss of the season. Turned it over 20 times in that game. But right now they have turned it over 6 times, but they forced 8 turnovers. They got a positive number in the assist category, 7 assists to 6 turnovers. So they are winning the turnover battle by far in this game. When you look at San Diego State, they've got just 2 assists to 2 assists to 8 turnovers. It's a 30-10 run by UConn. 30-10 run. We get back to action. Bradley with a jumper, too strong, missed off the glass. Klingon is back into the game. UConn on the floor has Aline, Klingon, Calcaterra, Jackson, and Caravan. So Sanogo getting a breather right now. Jackson, dribble, drive, kick out to the corner. Caravan on top. It goes open 3 straight away. Naheem Aline missed off the front rim. Aztecs with the ball. And that is going to be waved off on the floor. Aline picking up the blocking foul as he was working on Kashad Johnson, who took it down to the low post on him, and Johnson will shoot 2 at the line. NFL fan, welcome back in. Yeah, and the scary part about this UConn team is that most of these players will be back next year. Actually, they're going to say it's a non-shooting foul. Klingon off the inbound, comes up with a block from behind. It goes right back to UConn. Man, at 7'2", he makes an amazing impact when he's in there on the floor. Lob, down low. Caravan has position, got blocked on the back. Block from behind the second time. Back it goes to the Aztecs. Kashad Johnson dribbles towards his right around the perimeter. Hands it off to Butler. Butler's pass intercepted by Klingon. Second steal of the game for the big fella. 1:45 left to go before half. Aline. Hand off Klingon, top of the key. Passing off the roll down. Naheem Aline missed the layup around the rim and out. Great dime by Klingon, but couldn't finish. A little bit too strong. Up the floor. Here's a 3. Off the mark, no good. Missed by Seiko, and the rebound controlled by UConn. Jackson looks to push it. Jackson, bounce pass, Cutter. And he gets called on the travel, though. So Jackson called in the travel. Too many steps as he tried to fake it and then took another step and tried to pass to a backdoor Cutter with Caravan. 36-20, 1:29 left to go before half. Nobody talks about him that much, but Donovan Klingon never plays on the floor at the same time with Sanogo. That's how deep they are with these 2 players in the front court, but he impacts the game at all levels. 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block so far by Klingon tonight. 15 on the shot clock, minute 10 left to go on the game clock before halftime. Deep range jumper, it is good for the 18-footer straight away. Deep 2, made by Kashad Johnson. Final minute left to go before halftime. And UConn will burn a timeout here, talk things over with 55.8 seconds. So we take the timeout on the floor right now, 55.8 seconds left to go. If you guys are new in the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Ring that notification bell as well. Quick update on the personal foul trouble so far in this first half. Jordan Hawkins and Dominic Klingon both with 2. And nobody yet to pick up 2 for San Diego State so far. Sanogo's got 0, though, for fouls. It's actually Tristan Newton who's the top scorer right now. Newton with 9 points. What's good, Buffalo Fireside Chats? Welcome in. .8 seconds left to play. It will be UConn's basketball. National championship game, and UConn's just been so dominant throughout the tournament, winning by an average margin of 20 points per game against NCAA tournament teams here. In this bracket, they turned it over, though, back from the timeout. The pass down low, intercepted by San Diego State. 40 seconds left to go before halftime. Deep 2 for SDSU. It is good. Darian Trammell knocks down a jumper. It's another J, 18 feet straight away. And that's back-to-back jumpers to the top of the free throw circle made by the Aztecs as they pull win in 12. Final possession potentially here before halftime. 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock before halftime. Jackson sends it out to the left wing perimeter off to Newton. Newton dribbles towards his right, turns the corner. Newton down low. Newton floats it up, around and out, tipped up. Sanogo, offensive rebound, triple team, missed off the mark, no good. Had a good look from point-blank range, couldn't finish though. And we go into halftime as the buzzer sounds. It's 36 UConn, San Diego State 24. That 11-minute scoring drought not doing any favors for the Aztecs there in the first half. We go into halftime right now, and just a one-sided game so far with UConn. UConn was trailing early. San Diego State put up 10 points in the first 5 minutes of this game, and then UConn forces the Aztecs to go above 11 minutes without a made bucket at one point in this first half. Yeah, great question there. Both of these teams have been phenomenal in the bracket. UConn's just caught fire at the right time. I'd probably take that Baylor team. How Baylor moved the basketball around, spreaded it around, and just shot circles over Gonzaga. That was amazing. Oh, wow, I didn't hear about that, actually. Man, that's scary. Yeah, thanks so much, Buffalo Fireside Chats. One team went on an 11-minute scoring drought. The other team, with UConn, started off slow, but eventually took the lead. They're on a little bit of a drought, though, to go into halftime. So, last game, they got on a big momentum builder. With a three-point shot they made at the buzzer. This has been a little bit of a different ending for them going into half, because a lot of the other games they've been able to make big shots going into halftime. They actually trailed by 2 against Iona in the first round and just came out as a machine in the second half. And they've been so dominant in the second half. So dominant in the second half. Like, this is incredibly difficult for San Diego State to come back in this game. I know they came back from 14 down against Florida Atlantic, but UConn's just been an absolute animal in half number 2 this season. Yeah, they got a buzzer beater against St. Mary's to go into halftime. They controlled that game from the start against Arkansas. They started again on a run late stage of the first half against Gonzaga, and then another buzzer beater against Miami. So, a little bit of uncharted territory here is that they did go on a scoring drought to go into halftime. But still, they're up by a comfortable margin. 12-point lead against a team that's made just 8 shots so far and committed 9 turnovers in the first half. Like, that was the key to this game for San Diego State. They needed to win the turnover battle. And win the turnover battle by a good margin. And they haven't done that so far. Just 2 assists to 9 turnovers. UConn's committed 8 turnovers to 7 assists so far in this game. What's good, Riley? Welcome in. Yeah, transfer portal keeps on being active as of recently. Max Asmus from Oral Roberts put his name into the transfer portal today. I heard that Caleb Love's down to 2 schools. That I heard that he was considering. One of them was Missouri. The other one was Indiana. Dolores, thanks so much for joining in. Appreciate it. Hey, best of luck there to Treeper. Dale, welcome back in. Yeah, I took UConn. My projection was by 11 for this one, 74-63. The worst game ever. What's good, Lamont in the stream? Welcome back on board. No, this is not my full-time job. Yeah, this is only something I do on the side. I've been like working around like 75 to 80 hours a week lately, approximately. I work in radio full-time, 40 hours a week, and then on the side I work for a couple of different colleges at the D3 level announcing sports. Right now it's been pretty busy because we got baseball, softball, and lacrosse all going on at the same time. Yeah, glad to have you back in the stream, Armando. That's right. You're out in California. Yeah, so I think out of the bracket poll, if UConn wins this, only 2 people in our in the Behind the Arc bracket challenge poll picked UConn to win. One of them was Vegas. So I believe Vegas finished in 2nd place last year with Kansas. I looked at it. It would be Vegas would finish in 2nd place right behind that part. I think that part's got a couple more points than Vegas. So Vegas would be at the top again as a winner in the bracket challenge. Yeah, it's gonna be tough to crack 60 for them. That was my prediction before the game. Really tough now for them to crack 60. Just so many weapons here for UConn. And it's showing that UConn's got the balance, able to light up San Diego State to shoot 50% from the floor. UConn's got the advantage in the paint 16-6. And points off turnovers. That's concerning for San Diego State. Like, you needed to take care of the basketball in the first place to make this a game, and they haven't done that tonight. UConn's scored 11 points off of San Diego State turnovers in this game. Like, that was the big key that you had to beat UConn in the first half. They struggled with it, is that they have turned it over 9 times. Will, welcome aboard again. I work in radio for production for my actual full-time job. So yeah, I don't even host actually, because I work at a station that's more like news in politics based or so. So I do like a lot of like the voiceover commercial production work, audio work. Yeah, I actually didn't go to college for sports broadcasting. Like a couple years after college, I picked up the craft myself. Just watched like a lot of videos online, studied a lot, read a lot of information. I was able to just soak that all in, and then over time, a lot of it's practice. Like, the more you practice, the better off you get. Like, I started off in 2019, and like every single time I would stream, I would get better and better and better at it. It takes time, like over time, to get better at it. Yeah, so right now, San Diego State shooting 29% from the floor. UConn shooting 50%. So UConn's 15 for 30 shooting. San Diego State's just 8 for 28. Yeah, this is a bad sign for the Aztecs that they have 9 turnovers to just 8 made field goals in the first half. UConn's 15 for 30. UConn plus 3 in the glass, 20-17. Hey, there we go. Yeah, we don't do metal rock, unfortunately. I used to host a music show though when I was in college. I used to do it was like top 40 EDM that I used to do for music in college. Hey, thanks so much, Derek. Appreciate it, man. Michael, welcome in. Yeah, you guys are legendary. Appreciate it, Clutch. Yeah, it was like electronic dance music that I did. So it was like Zed was one of the big artists that I did on my show. I did some like Tiesto, David Guetta, Avicii was a big one that I did a lot of songs from. Hey, thanks so much, Derek. Yeah, appreciate it. For you guys, if you share my stuff out there, that's great. I haven't listened to a lot of Aphex Twin before. Yeah, some of it was Daft Punk that I did. Joe, welcome to the stream. So, they get championship rings when they win the national championship, and the trophy goes back to that school. They'll put it probably like in the lobby or so, right before you walk into like the gym. For a lot of schools, in like a display area. Just so tough for to prepare for this UConn squad. This team went undefeated. They started off the season 14-0. They're undefeated in non-conference play this season. And yeah, none of these non-conference teams could like even touch them. Looking at their non-conference schedule, they beat Alabama by 15. Wow, they beat Oregon by 24. Florida by 21. Oklahoma State by 10. I think that's the closest non-conference game. Iowa State by 18. Yeah, that's the closest non-conference game they played somebody was they beat Oklahoma State by 10 points. 74-64. And then Miami, they won by 13 the last game. After this, I'll be covering a lot of the NBA games. So tomorrow night, I'll be back covering the Celtics against Sixers. So feel free to come on board if you guys would like, as we'll be covering a lot of the NBA games upcoming. What's good from Honduras? Welcome in, Mike, on the stream. Yeah, there is somebody from California on this team. I saw someone posted one player from Boston for San Diego State, Adam Seiko. And then UConn had one player from California on the team, Joey Calcaterra. It says Novato, California. Yeah, so feel free to join in tomorrow if you guys would like to join on board for Celtics against Sixers tomorrow night. And throughout the rest of the course of the NBA season. I usually cover what's ever on national TV for NBA because I don't have like access to the regional games on my network. So whatever pops up on national TV. Yeah, around mid-April, I'm actually going away towards like upstate New York in mid-April. So that's actually like the start of the NBA playoffs. So I'm not sure how many playoff games I'll be covering from like April 15th to April 19th or so. I'm probably going to bring my streaming equipment up to the hotel, so I'll probably cover like one or two games up there, but I'm going to have to share the television with the rest of my family because we're going away. My whole family actually works in the school district, so they have spring break that week in Massachusetts, which in all the other states they don't have spring break in like mid-April. It's just for like Massachusetts for teachers and school staff. They're off that week for high school and middle school. I'm gonna focus on the NBA during spring because this channel here about basketball and that's what gets the viewers going. I don't think XFL streams will be bringing in a lot of viewers. Yeah, we're supposed to go up towards like Plattsburgh for New York. So, like, upstate New York. We went there, like, 5 years ago. But we've usually gone out around like April. We haven't done it the past couple of years because of the pandemic, but we went there 5 years ago. We went to the Poconos back in 2019. There was my biggest stream with the most viewers that I ever covered, the Game 7 that Kevin Durant's foot was on the 3-point line. That Game 7 between the Bucks and the Nets from 2 years ago. I was actually at Foxwoods in Connecticut covering that game. Because I couldn't yell in that stream or anything, so I had to keep it super quiet because the room was, like, not that big. And we were on, like, I think we were on, like, the 13th floor or something. But, yeah, I was at Foxwoods in Connecticut during that day because every year I go to the NASCAR race out in New Hampshire. And back when Foxwoods used to be the sponsor, we used to get, like a complimentary night over at Foxwoods every year until Foxwoods dropped the sponsor for New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So we would have like a night at Foxwoods every year because of buying the race tickets ahead of time. Yeah, I haven't been up to Vermont in quite a bit. Definitely want to go up. I took my girlfriend up to Quechee Gorge, I think. That was for my 22nd birthday 5 years ago. We went up there. I haven't been there in 5 years since that time. And then we went up another time. We went up to like Cabot in Vermont. We stayed overnight at Stowe. I usually don't get out like often or so. It's like once or twice a year I get to like vacation because we usually have to like take it according to like my whole family works in the school district and I work in radio, so I'm only allowed like a certain amount of vacation days per year, per like annual year. And they get like time off in the spring in the district and then also towards the 4th of July. Yeah, I actually went to I went to Long Pond when I went there to the Poconos back in 2019. They used to offer, I don't know if they still do it, but they offered racetrack tours at the Pocono Raceway. So we actually went on a racetrack tour over there at the Pocono Raceway. That was so cool. Alright, so second half going to start up in just a moment. If you guys are new in the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Yeah, Foxwoods was great, Dabney. So I've been to Foxwoods twice. I went to Mohegan Sun in November. I caught Maryland against Miami and then Providence against St. Louis at Mohegan Sun. That was my first time going to Mohegan Sun. We'll see if changes start to happen here in the second half. 12-point lead for UConn. UConn starts off the ball. They've been an absolute machine in half number 2. UConn with it first. Oh, they missed the slam dunk with Hawkins as he turned the corner. Missed it off the back rim. Would have been the exclamation point. Went all the way up to the backcourt. Hit the rim. They had a new 30 in the shot clock. 3 at the wing. Hawkins wants the ball. Takes the 3. Missed off the rim. Rebounded the corner by San Diego State. Wow, that would have just sent the game away with a slam dunk to start off the second. Jumper, it's good by SDSU. What a change in the game. A 14-point lead opportunity. Pulls within 10 with a jumper made by Matt Bradley as it crosses the ankles of Andre Jackson in the first made field goal. Half number 2 for the Aztecs. Caravan lobs it off to Hawkins. Hawkins looking aggressive here in the second half. Sends it off to Jackson at the low block. Jackson inside the key dribbles. Jackson floats the pass down low. Sanogo up and in off the glass for 2. Adama Sanogo working his way up to 9 now. Him and Newton, the top 2 scorers. 18-6 points in the paint for UConn. Bradley stuck at the wing. Bounce pass at the mid block goes to Mensah. Mensah bouncing bodies with Sanogo. At the right block outside Bradley. Bradley up fake on Jackson. Bradley takes the jumper. Tough one. Missed rim. Short rebound. Hawkins. Hawkins had it bobbled. Lost it. Turnover right back to Bradley around the logo. Aztecs have it back down by 12. Bounce pass, top of the key, it goes to Mensah. Mensah towards his right, handoff Trammell around the perimeter, guarded by Jackson. Trammell, bounce pass, deflected, and picked up by Trammell. Heads up play, pins it off the backside of Jackson as he was down on the hardwood as it goes out of bounds. We see this replay of Hawkins. Hawkins just so good, turning the corner, just missed the slam dunk though. Yep, that would have set the place directly on fire. 7 points by Hawkins. Inbound San Diego State. Trammell, 5 in the shot clock. Trammell off the glass, missed, knocked out of bounds. Last touch with a new 30 on the shot clock. It will stay Aztecs ball. We got 18:04 left to play. Inbound coming up for San Diego State. Butler underneath his hoop. Butler looking to move it out. Butler couldn't find anybody. Has to burn a timeout. Timeout taken by the Aztecs right now. 18:04 left to go. That's a way too early timeout. Now they're down to just 2 timeouts remaining in this game. Yeah, disappointing right now for San Diego State. To start off the second half with a quick timeout, not even 2 minutes in. They have to get something off this possession. Like, they got a new 30 on their shot clock coming up, and they're inbounding directly underneath their hoop. Like, if you don't come away with anything this possession, this is tough. UConn's looking to explode right on you. That play that they had with Hawkins, he missed the slam dunk. He was about to send a message down. The whole place would have just exploded if he made that slam dunk. If you guys are new in the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell as well, as we're on the timeout currently. Final stream of the college basketball season, but that doesn't mean the grind doesn't stop, as we'll be back tomorrow night covering the Celtics against the Sixers, number 2 versus number 3 teams in the Eastern Conference. So after the college hoop season, feel free to join us in for the NBA season, as we still have another 2.5 months approximately of the NBA season to get through. A couple more weeks remaining this is the last week remaining in the regular season. Playing games start next week, and then the playoffs start the following week. And that's actually like the biggest growth in my channel has been from the NBA playoffs. I remember in the pandemic, we that right after the restart in the bubble, we went from 1,300 subscribers to 8,000 from a time span of August 2020 to October 2020. That was like the largest growth in the channel. And then the next playoffs, we did the same once again. I think it went from like 9,000 to like 16 or 17,000. And then last playoffs, it went from like 19 to 23,000. Or 22. And we hit over 23,000 in this tournament. 18:04 left to go. We come back from the timeout. Inbound San Diego State. Handoff right corner Trammell. Trammell dribbles to the key now. Trammell bounce pass. Mid block off to Mensah. Mensah on Sanogo. Pass deflected. Goes back to the logo though. Trammell drives inside the key. Trammell off the glass. No good. He did get fouled though. This will be 2 shots coming up at the free throw line for Darian Trammell of San Diego State. 17:50 left. Aztecs just need to start with every single possession to get themselves back into this game. First one is good by Trammell. Second shot. And he makes it. 10-point lead for UConn. UConn with a possession. Huskies take it past midcourt. Win Newton. We haven't seen the pressure defense at all by San Diego State in this game as UConn has been playing comfortable tonight. Hawkins at the right wing. Moves on top to Jackson. Jackson handoff to Newton. Outside it goes Caravan. Launches a three. Laser beam. That is through for Alex Caravan for the 3 ball. That ought to get them going. 13-point lead for the Huskies. These are first-year players making an impact. 17:15 left. Bounce pass top of the key. Bradley, jab step, drives on Jackson. Kick out corner 3, off the mark, no good. Offensive rebound goes over to Mensah. Mensah gets knocked down and he gets fouled. So 17:05 left. Yeah, I actually don't have one. I'm thinking about starting up a Facebook one, though, for the channel. Because we have the Twitter page. I'm thinking about starting up one for Facebook in the future. 17 minutes left to go. Inbound to Kashad Johnson. Johnson attacks the rim. Missed off the back right portion of the rim. Rebound over to UConn. UConn will slow it down under 17 minutes left. Hawkins floats the pass off to Jackson. Jackson top of the key. Handoff back to Newton. Newton sends it over to Sanogo. Top of the free throw circle. Handoff Jackson. 8 in the shot clock. Jackson drives inside the paint. And we have a reach and fall picked up by San Diego State. That gets charged to Mensah. The clock will stop with 16:33. I get the Celtics to win the championship. Cobra, welcome in. Terrence on the stream, welcome in. Looking for the Aztecs to come back. 16:33 left to go. 3-point shot missed by Caravan at the wing. Rebound, Aztecs. Trammell drives inside the paint. Nice pass underneath and a wild shot. He did get fouled, though, with Kashad Johnson. Andre Jackson picks up the blocking foul, and Kashad Johnson will head to the free throw line and shoot 2 for the Aztecs. That's a great pass. Just snuck underneath Caravan and swung it right to Johnson. Hey, thanks so much, Felix, for joining in. Enjoy the rest of your night. 16:20 left. 2 shots here for Johnson for the Aztecs. First one's good. Yeah, looking good for UConn right now. Trying to see if they can keep it up. San Diego State came from down 14 to beat FAU. Second shot is good. Able to get the bounce in. Michael on the stream. Ron, welcome in. 16:10 left to go. As Trammell picks up the reach and foul, the clock will stop. Yep, I'm on Twitter. Behind the Arc Basketball 14 on Twitter. Inbound for UConn. Jackson receives it at the wing. Jackson floats it down low. Sanogo pivot. He got contacted going up for the shot and fouled. They're going to call that on Mensa down at the low block. So it's going to be Sanogo shooting 2 free throws coming up at the line. 16:04 left to go. First one, got it. Around the rim and in. As strange as it sounds, he's the first player in this game tonight to double-digit scoring. Adama Sanogo now up to 10 points. Second shot here at the line for Sanogo. Got it. Make it 11. Most likely will be the NCAA Tournament MVP. 16 minutes left. Marky Mark, welcome back in. Michael on the stream, welcome on board. 11.6 rebounds by Sanogo. Bradley sends it on the top of the key to Mensa. Mensa hands it off to Trammell. Trammell drives down inside the lane, and it got altered by Caravan. Saved though at the baseline for the Aztecs. Another drive to the rim, and that's good on the layup by Lamont Butler. Sanogo tried to take the charge, couldn't do so. 15.5 left. Newton, far side of the floor. Top of the key, Jackson hands it off to Newton. That's the first made layup tonight, by the way, for the Aztecs. Newton drives, and Newton gets stripped and fouled, going up on the shot charge to Trammell. The clock will stop with 15:19. We'll take the first media timeout of the game in the second half. All right, so we take the second timeout of the second half since the Aztecs burned one before, but media timeout number 1, half number 2. Still up by double digits, 43-32. It's probably going to be more NBA for the next, 2 months or so since it's NBA playoffs. Yeah, I usually don't pay attention to, much football in the spring. So I usually just watch NFL. We got 200 plus in the channel right now. If you guys are new, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. If you'd like to come on board tomorrow night, I plan on being back covering the Celtics against the Sixers at 8 o'clock Eastern. Adama Sanogo, 11 points for him. It's been a game of depth today in this matchup. UConn with 8 players who's entered the scoring column. San Diego State, deep team. They go 9 players deep, but they've only managed to score 5 players so far. And only 4 players have made a field goal in this game. They're shooting just 29% from the floor. UConn's shooting almost 49% right now. So that's almost 20%. Yeah, that's actually a 20% difference when you round up the number. I actually have it. My good friend John covers hockey on his channel. He recently picked up a full-time job though, so he hasn't been covering hockey a lot recently because the job is conflicted with his channel a lot. But his channel is Off the Wall Hockey. UConn's defense hasn't made it easy to operate at the rim in this game. I just saw that graphic a couple minutes ago. San Diego State made their first bucket of the game at the rim. It took them 24 minutes to finally make their first layup tonight for the Aztecs. That's how difficult it's been to score on UConn today. They've taken everything away in this tournament at the rim. In order to beat UConn, you're going to have to make your threes. You're going to have to make the mid-range shots to win this game. And that just hasn't happened tonight by the Aztecs. They aren't known for their offense. Yeah, really big decisions await for those two. I think there's a really good chance that one out of the two will come back. Potentially both of them could. I think after the loss to Tennessee, I think Filipowski definitely should come back for another year. He was tearing it up too for him this season. He had a strong year. I think he could still benefit from an extra season. Tristan Newton, 2 shots at the free throw line for UConn. We get back to action with 15-19, and the first one he makes. Yeah, my score's not looking so hot right now. I predicted 74-63 UConn. Gonna have to take that down quite a bit. This is looking like a 61-50 final score right now. So I'm going to stick with an 11-point victory. I'll go 61-50 by the rate that we've been going right now. Quarter 3 is good, though, for the Aztecs as they pull one in 10. That's finally their first 3 bench points of the game under 15 minutes left to play. UConn with the ball with Newton. Newton at the edge of the midcourt logo, defended by Seiko. Over to the right corner. Newton still has it, guarded by Seiko. Floats the pass on top to Caravan. Lobs it down low. His pass behind Sanogo, stolen away. Hawkins comes back up with a steal on midcourt. Jackson fires up a 3. That grazed the rim. That's not his type of shot there. Andre Jackson, not known for perimeter shooting, wanted to be quick up the floor to take one as he was open, but couldn't get it to drop, and that will be an offensive foul by San Diego State. Lowering the shoulder in. Charge to Adam Seiko. He just made the 3 right before that. Yeah, I'd go with Gino there. I think UConn's women's team, I saw them as the #1 team in the Way Too Early by ESPN this morning. Yeah, I think they got a good chance to win it for UConn in the women's team next season. Sanogo, turnaround, gets fouled. Adama Sanogo will shoot 2 at the free throw line with 14 minutes left. Two shots at the free throw line here for Sanogo. That Miami team was really fun to stream this season. Their guards are great to watch and electric. I like covering Jerome Tang's team with Kansas State too. He was a tremendous coach this year for Tang. That guy's all class. He went right into the locker room after Florida Atlantic beat Kansas State and gave FAU a speech about like how great of a performance and how tough the players are on that team. Like, Kansas State's in great hands in the future. Marquise Noel and Keontae Johnson, that duo was so fun to watch this season. 13:45 left to play. SDSU with the possession. They dribble inside the key and back out. It goes to the corner to Micah Parrish. Handoff around the perimeter to Butler. Butler rises for the J over Jackson. Missed the front rim and rebound controlled by Newton of UConn. UConn will slow down the ball. 20 in the shot clock. Tristan Newton. Pass cross court. Corner 3 in the air. Missed off the mark. No good by Aline. Rebound controlled by Jaden Ladie of the Aztecs. Dribbling inside the key is Butler. Butler puts one up. No good off the front. And that's just tough defense there by UConn as Caravan comes out with a defensive rebound. Caravan receives the pass. Caravan attacks downhill to the rim. Bodies collide down low. As he got stripped out of bounds, the clock will stop with 13:04. That will be also on San Diego State, so they're going to call it a foul here on the floor, picked up by the Aztecs. And Brian Dutcher, he says no way about the call. That looked like a pretty clean strip to me. But this will send Caravan to the free throw line. So Caravan will shoot 2 at the free throw line. That looked like a pretty clean strip right there. I think this UConn team, I'll all depends on who they return coming back to the squad. I think they have a good chance potentially. You're okay. Here we go. They're gonna referees talk it over. They had Caravan set up at the free throw line, and now are they gonna keep him there, or are they gonna go for an inbounds? As Sanogo will check out of the game, Klingon will come in now, and it will keep Caravan at the free throw line. So this will be a 1-and-1. In the bonus, Caravan missed the free throw now. That's number 7 charged to San Diego State. I think right now, based on next season, there's a couple teams from the Big East realistically that could win it all. Marquette could return everybody in the offseason. Creighton could return everybody as well. I would not count out the Blue Jays. The heartbreak that they faced against San Diego State, if there's a team that can redeem themselves and come back a year later after the heartbreak that they suffered, I think Creighton could be that team for next season. They could potentially return everybody. They are waiting for the call on Baylor Shireman, whether he'll go to the draft, but he could come back for another season. Tristan Newton at the free throw line now as San Diego State picked up a reach and fall in the backcourt. First free throw is good. This game just slipping away from the Aztecs. They've committed 8 personal fouls in the second half. UConn with just 3. Yeah, hopefully Celtics can pull out all 4. Second shot's good by Newton. Yeah, that's the only chance that they have most likely to get the 1 seed home court for the playoffs. 12:45 left, 14-point lead with under 13 minutes remaining. This looks like familiar territory for the Aztecs here. Deja vu all over again. Down by 14 against FAU in the Final Four. Aztecs with the possession. Hand off to Parrish. Takes the jumper. Blocked by Hawkins. Gets it back there with the free throw circle. Parrish dribbles out to the top. Bounce pass deflected. And a reach and fall called. Picked up by Jackson. That's number 4 charged to UConn. Quick update on the foul trouble right now. Nathan Mensah and Darian Trammell both with 3 personal fouls for San Diego State. UConn, nobody with 3 so far. But 2 each by Hawkins, Newton, and Klingon. Inbound for the Aztecs. Goes off to a rope at the Final Four logo. A rope dribbles up to the right elbow. Hands it off to Parrish. Parrish to the right wing perimeter. Parrish thought about a 3. Moves it out to the free throw circle. A lot of time going off the clock with Ladie. Ladie will go right into Klingon, and he will draw the foul. This game's getting choppy as of late. The clock will stop with 12:15. And that's number 3 picked up by Klingon. He's like a giant wall out there standing at 7'2" for Donovan Klingon. Jaden Ladie, 2 free throws. First one missed. No good by the Aztecs by Ladie at the line. It's been by far from the perfect game that they needed to pull this one off. 9 for 12 now on free throws. The problem is that they've committed 11 turnovers and made 11 field goals in this game. You don't see that number too often. Second free throw is good, especially in a national championship game. 49-36, 12:10 left to play. Klingon's on the floor with 3 personal fouls. Sanogo getting a breather right now. Jackson off the Calcaterra. Bounce pass left wing into the hands of Aline. Aline dribbles towards his right. Aline now into the key. Floats up the shot. Rattled out. Aline gets fouled. So he'll shoot 2 coming up at the free throw line as it's been a whistle-happy second half here. Full with the referees. As we'll take a break from the action. Under 12 minutes left to play. UConn 13-point lead, 49-36. This is it. Final 12 minutes remaining of college basketball this season. If you guys are doing the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. The grind doesn't stop after this one. I'll be back for the rest of the season covering the NBA with the NBA playoffs. coming up shortly in the next couple of weeks. So if you guys enjoy the NBA, feel free to keep on coming on these streams and supporting the channel. Tomorrow night, I'll be back covering the Celtics against the Sixers at 8 o'clock. Yeah, the future's bright for that young man. He reminds me of Walker Kessler. Like next year he could be a shot blocking machine. He's putting up numbers of, I believe he's averaging around 7 points per game and only like a 13-minute clip this year. He doesn't play many minutes since he's a bench guy. He's only a freshman. But when he comes in, he impacts the game at just so many levels. With his size, blocking shots. So yeah, he averages 13 minutes per game he averages, and he's scoring 7 points per game in 13 minutes. And then he's averaging just under 2 blocks per game in that clip with just under 6 rebounds. There's actually a site, I think they tell you, like, what he would be averaging in the full 40 if he played, like, the full 40 minutes. Yeah. Okay, so per 40 minutes, Klingon would be averaging above 21 points per game. He'd be averaging over 17 rebounds per game and he'd be averaging 5.5 blocks per game. If he played the full 40 minutes, that is insane. Sanogo, if he played the full 40, he'd be averaging 26 because those two split time. Sanogo gets more of the time in the spot, and then Klingon rotates in. So Sanogo averages around 26.5 minutes per game, whereas Klingon plays 13.2 minutes. Sanogo's scoring 17 points and above 7 rebounds, yet he plays the 5th most minutes on the team. Hey, that's just phenomenal. Like, I think because UConn's so deep, they're able to spread out the points around the roster. Like, if you put Sanogo on, like, another team or so, he would probably be the national player of the year because he would have to carry a team. So he would put up, like, numbers similar to Zach Edey, I feel like, for him. But UConn's just so deep that everybody chips in. Because Sanogo's averaging above 17. Hawkins averages above 16. Both of the free throws good at the line by UConn by a lean as we come back from the timeout, 51-36. 11:45 left to go. Both of these teams have combined for the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds approximately not to make a field goal. We'll see if that changes. Ladie working down low and Klingon with 3 personal fouls. Sends it on top over to Butler. Butler drives inside the key. Shovels it out to the free throw circle. Jumper, it's good by Jaden Ladie. What's good, Sir Smooth? Welcome to the stream once again, man. UConn 13-point lead. 11:20 left to go. I took UConn by 11 in this game. My score prediction was way too high, 74-63, but it's going to go under that, but I predicted UConn by 11. Right now up by 13. Lob down low, Klingon. Klingon working one-on-one. Klingon got it to drop. It's good. One-on-one advantage. He's just too big in that fashion. 15-point lead with 11 minutes left to play. 13-6. Bench points in favor of UConn. Jumper missed to the elbow by SDSU. They come up with an offensive rebound with Seiko. Out to the left wing. Here's a 3. It's good for the Aztecs. Haven't heard a lot from three-point range tonight for this team, but they finally drill one. Now they're just 5 of 16 from 3. UConn with the ball. They will slow it down. Joey Calcaterra sends it off to Hawkins. Dribbles towards his left around the perimeter. Hand off to Jackson. 10 on the shot clock. Jackson at the free throw circle. Moves it outside to Calcaterra. Calcaterra passes left corner. Jackson takes a 3. That's well off the mark. Tipped up. Defensive rebound hauled in by Ladie. Jackson isn't known as the typical three-point shooter. He's a point forward that loves to get the ball to his teammates. Missed 3. Quick up the floor by San Diego State. Jackson pulls down the rebound. 10 minutes left to play. UConn can smell it. UConn can feel it. Looking for national championship number 5. Perfect 4-0 in national title games entering this point. Klingon at the top. 12 on the shot clock. Klingon towards his left. Handoff. Here's a 3 straightaway. Calcaterra. Laser beam. He delivers from downtown for Joey Calcaterra, the freshman from California. 15-point lead for the Huskies. 9:40 left to go. It is lit in stores right now. SDSU looking for something. The bucket is good. Off the glass and in by Jaden Ledee. UConn with the ball. They'll keep on slowing down tempo. UConn plus 10 points in the paint, 20-10. They've just come out. They've controlled the game. San Diego State took the lead in the first 5 minutes of action. They led 10-8 ever since UConn was able to get on a run, and it never stopped from there. They went into a 30-10 run at one point. Calcaterra missed the shot. Offensive rebound, Klingon. Klingon bobbled it. Back out to the perimeter. Calcaterra saves it. Calcaterra, step back 3 in the air. Missed off the back rim. Offensive rebound, a lean jumper. Baseline. Off the mark, miss. Rebound controlled by Trammell. Under 9 minutes left to go. Trammell dribbles up inside the key. Bounce pass. Floats up the shot. Gutted the drop. It's good by Jaden Ledee. 11-point game, a little bit of sign to life here for the Aztecs. $8:33 remaining, and UConn will burn a timeout. So we get 8:33 left to go. The Huskies an 11-point lead, controlling this entire game. Joey Calcaterra off the dribble, handoff from Donovan Klingon, takes the 3. That is 2 freshmen working together. They worked together for a great amount of this game today. Both also contributed with that alley-oop earlier in the game. Klingon, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steal, 1 block, filling up the stat sheet in all different ways tonight for Klingon. Doesn't get a ton of minutes. Calcaterra, 2 for 3 from 3-point range. And they got 16 points off the bench compared to just 6 by the Aztecs. Yeah, I think they're one of the taller teams. I don't think that they're the tallest. I don't know. There's a website that says like the average height of the players. I believe total combined height on average, I think it's Duke, if I'm not mistaken, this season. Because Duke had 2 7'1" players in their lineup, Derek Lively and Kyle Filipowski. So I believe it was Duke. They were super big in the front court this year for Duke. And also Zach Edey, 7'4" for Purdue as well. The guards were smaller though on Purdue. Missed jumper by Hawkins. Sanogo couldn't come down with it as it went on the bound. So 8:20 left to go as we come back from the timeout. Sanogo tried to come up with a loose ball. Yeah, went off Sanogo, went out of bounds last. Two timeouts remaining for both of these teams. 4 victories by the Aztecs this season after trailing by 10 points or greater. They trailed as many by 16 at one point in this game, currently down by 11. Handoff at the right wing. Johnson takes a 3. Johnson puts it through. We get a whole new ball game. Here come the Aztecs. It's an 8-point game, 56-48. Signs of life with 8 minutes left to go. Things going pretty well. San Diego State on a 7-zip run last minute, 45 seconds. Jackson, top of the key. Moves it out to his right. Intercepted by San Diego State. Here they go, attacking the rim. And they get the layup. Oh, baby, it's only a 6-point game. Right in it for the Aztecs. San Diego State looking to pull off a big-time miracle in this one like they did down by 14 against FAU, down by 16 against UConn. 9-zip run last 2 minutes for the Aztecs. Inside the key, Newton floats up the runner, skipped around the rim. Tipping is good though by Sanogo. Wow, that's incredible to stay with it by Adama Sanogo. Tipped it off the glass up and in it went. Sanogo up to 15 points, 7 rebounds, the game leader. Handoff, bounce pass off the roll down, and a blocking foul called on the floor. Charge to Sanogo. This will send Kashad Johnson to the free throw line, shooting 2 for the Aztecs. San Diego State right in this game. 8-point lead for UConn, 6:58 left to go. We'll take the media timeout on the floor with under 7 minutes remaining to crown the national champion. If you guys are new in the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams on the channel. I cover basketball action and college hoops, also NBA games as well. So after tonight, the grind doesn't stop from here. I'll be back tomorrow night covering the Celtics against the Sixers. If you guys would like to come on board, 8 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow night. That's a battle between the number 2 and number 3 teams in the Eastern Conference. Adama Sanogo, top scorer tonight in the game, 15 points, 7 rebounds. Tristan Newton, 13.7 rebounds, 3 assists by Newton. 3 players with 11 for San Diego State each. Kashad Johnson, Darian Trammell, Lamont Butler, all with 11 points. Matt Bradley held to just 6 points tonight on 2 for 7 shooting. For a good chunk of this game, San Diego State either was around the same amount of field goals as turnovers, or they were below that number. And right now, they are above, and they're above that number for the first time in the biggest way tonight. They made 17 shots compared to 11 turnovers, but for most of this game, they were out. They went into halftime with just 8 made shots and 9 total turnovers. They only turned it over twice in the first 13 minutes of the second half. So they're right in it right now for San Diego State. It ain't over until it's over. And they were trailing for 98% in that game against Florida Atlantic. Came back and won. UConn hasn't played a game like this in a long time. Every single game they whooped their opponent in this tournament. You have to go all the way back to more than 3 weeks ago, when they lost by 2 in the Big East tournament against Marquette. That's when you have to go back, and that's the last close game that they had played against. They were up by a bunch against Providence, and they won Providence just by 7 in the first round of the Big East, the quarterfinals of the Big East tournament, 73-66. They were pounding teams late stretch of the season, won by double digits every single game in this tournament. I get the Celtics to win it all. 6:58 left to go. Free throws here at the line, and the first one missed. No good by Kashad Johnson of San Diego State. So San Diego State's also missed 4 shots at the free throw line. They're 10 of 14. Second half, San Diego State shooting 45% from the floor in the second half. UConn's only 31% shooting. So defense, defense, defense for one of the top defenses in the nation. A big reason how they've been able to come back in this game just like they did against FAU, tightening it up big time in the defensive area. Bounce pass over to Caravan at the left wing perimeter. Caravan handoff to Hawkins. We have a reach-in call picked up by the Aztecs, and UConn's in the double bonus. So that's number 10 now, picked up by San Diego State, and UConn will go into the double bonus shooting free throws. 6 personal fouls committed by UConn second half, 10 now by the Aztecs. Jordan Hawkins will shoot 2 at the free throw line with 6:45 left. First shot by Hawkins, right down the middle. UConn's been able to make the most out of their majority of free throws tonight. They are 14 for 16. Where the Aztecs are 11 for 15, UConn's 14 for 16. Hawkins with 8 points. Second free throw by Hawkins, that is good. Automatic there at the charity stripe. 9-point lead for the Huskies. Aztecs 6 of 18 from 3-point range. They could really use one on this possession. SDSU with the ball, approaching 6.5 left to go. At the top of the key, Johnson moves it out to his right to Butler. Butler drives inside the paint. Butler, no good. Altered as it goes right back to UConn. Great defense there, but the Huskies down low. Sanogo came in converging along with Aline. Huskies will slow it down. Naheem Aline running the point. Tristan Newton running the point for UConn. Lost control of the basketball. San Diego State comes out with a steal. Lunging forward with a layup right to the rim. That's good by Lamont Butler. Steal and layup, 7-point game. 6 minutes left to play. UConn will slow down tempo once again. Newton, bounce pass left wing to Aline. Moves it out the top of the key to Caravan. 15 on the shot clock, handoff to Newton. Newton dribbles, drives down the lane. Newton missed at the rim from point-blank range. It goes right back to the Aztecs with a defensive rebound by Ledee. San Diego State down by 7, chance to cut it here. Matt Bradley around the perimeter for the Aztecs. 5:25 left to go. Gives it over to Ledee. Ledee at the free throw circle. Handoff to Trammell. Bounce pass down low. Block over to Johnson. Johnson turnaround shot. Missed off the back rim. He got fouled. 2 free throws coming up by Kashad Johnson of San Diego State. This game's getting intense. The Aztecs are right in it right now. Shooting better in the second half. Able to come alive defensively. 5:19 remaining. Down by 16. They've cut it to 7 with 2 free throws. Chance to pull in 5. First shot is good. This is going to be a great one down the home stretch. San Diego State has all the momentum with 5:19 left to go. Their defense is completely just taken over this game. Second free throw is good. 60-55. Here come the Aztecs. 5:15 left. UConn with the ball. Top of the key, Sanogo. Just 2 lead changes, 1 tie in this matchup. A 16-point lead has dwindled down to 5. Tristan Newton over to the top. Hawkins takes a 3. He drills it right off the catch. Goes through the shoe. That's a big-time triple for Jordan Hawkins for the Huskies. John Jr. with a dono. Let's get that dono hype on the stream. Really appreciate it, brother. You guys, the legends in the channel. 4:45 left to go. San Diego State saves it. They turn it over. Here's UConn on the break. 2-on-1. Kick out to the corner. Intercepted by Trammell. Came up with a steal. San Diego State looking for something here. 4:35 left. Trammell bounce pass. Low block. Into the hands to Johnson. Johnson puts up the shot. Missed off the rim. Offensive rebound, Bradley. Bradley dribbles back out to the corner. Bradley dribbles now inside the key. Shuffles it over to Ledee. Ledee jab step on Sanogo. Bouncing bodies inside the key. Ledee tough turnaround. Right hook. Missed off the rim. Rebound control by UConn, and they'll slow it down. 4:10 remaining. What a game, getting intense here on the floor. Tristan Newton signaling the offense, sends it off to Aline. Aline dribbles to the Final Four logo. 15 on the shot clock, 4 minutes even left to go. San Diego State almost came up with a steal. Newton able to get it. Newton off to Sanogo. Sanogo attacks inside the paint. Sanogo missed off the front rim, no good. And we got a rebound here by San Diego State with a reach-in call picked up by Caravan on the floor. It ain't over till it's over. 3:52 left. San Diego State at the free throw line. And a 1-on-1 bonus coming up after the timeout. What a game. If you guys are new in the stream, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Spike the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell as well. 16-point deficit has now turned to an 8-point lead. At once it was just a 5-point game. 63-55 currently. There will be free throws coming up by San Diego State after the timeout. We have 3:52 on the clock. What a matchup. UConn limited to around 35% shooting in the second half from the floor. San Diego State shooting almost 50% in the second half from one of the graphics a couple minutes ago. So San Diego State's got all the momentum. That was a massive 3 by Hawkins. That's big-time NBA level. That's the reason why he's a projected first-rounder for Hawkins. Just puts that run right to sleep. It was a 5-point game. He drills a cold-blooded 3, puts UConn up by 8. Hawkins with 12. 3 players scoring double figures for UConn. 15 points, 8 rebounds by Sanogo. 13 points, 8 rebounds by Tristan Newton. 12 points by Jordan Hawkins, making 2 threes. Top scorer for San Diego State, that's Kashad Johnson with 14 points. 13 points by Lamont Butler, and then 11 by Darian Trammell. San Diego State outscoring UConn in the second half 31-27. So for the team that scored just 24 points in the first half, they have found their way in the second half. Finally able to find their answers offensively. And it's been through their defense putting pressure on the offense and finally being able to get buckets to drop and heading to the free throw line more often. Right now, Adama Sanogo, the player of the game. If UConn wins, he should be the player of the tournament. 15 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks. UConn looking to hold on to this, though. Players to average at least 20 points or greater with 65% field goal shooting or greater. Adama Sanogo puts himself in the category with Hakeem Olajuwon and Christian Laettner, 1984 and 1991. .352 left. San Diego State at the free throw line. Bonus time 1-1 with Kashad Johnson. He's only a 63% free throw shooter. 3:52 left. First free throw missed off the back rim. No good. A rebound controlled by UConn by Aline. That's a critical miss. San Diego State's missed 5 free throws in this game. 13 for 15. UConn able to make the majority of their opportunities. 15 for 17. That's a difference between 88% by UConn at the line and 72% by San Diego State tonight. .341 left to go. And San Diego State just gave a foul. They reached in, and that was not a good foul they just gave. Tristan Newton, almost an 81% free throw shooter at the free throw line, shooting 2 in a double bonus in the first one he makes. So just couldn't make a free throw, and then on the opposite side, they get called in the reach and foul. That's just bad basketball in general there, sending an 81% free throw shooter to line where he makes both of them. 10-point game. So instead of a 6-point game, it's now a 10-point game. See, the opportunities for San Diego State, and they're dwindling. 3:30 left to go. UConn is 14 for 15 in the second half at the free throw line. Knocking down free throws wins championships. Handoff around the perimeter. Aztecs using a lot of clock time. They'll take a 3 straight away. Missed off the back rim. No good by Butler. Rebound controlled for UConn by Newton. Tristan Newton, the point guard of this team, he snagged 9 rebounds. He is the top rebounder. Sanogo with 8. Jackson hands it off to Newton. Newton will slow it down, approaching the 3-minute mark left to go. Newton, top of the key. 8 in the shot clock. Newton at the left wing, guarded by Seiko. Newton, dribble drive, attacks the paint, down the lane inside. He scores, up and in off the backboard. Tristan Newton with a right hand, up and in off the glass. It's a 12-point UConn lead. 2:45 left to go. Not looking so hot for San Diego State, taking a lot of time on this possession as well. Bradley Jackson, a contested 3, missed off the back rim, rebound UConn. Empty that possession. UConn will slow it down. Dan Hurley signaling his squad to take care of the basketball, slow it down here with 2:20 left. Newton at the corner of the front court, guarded by Bradley. Newton, 8 on the shot clock. Newton takes a deep range 3. Steph Curry range, no good off the glass. Offensive rebound, Sanogo puts it up, no good. And he gets knocked down from behind. Bodies collide. heading to the free throw line with 2:08 left to go. Big time bodies right there. Newton looking for the Steph Curry range 3 to send the house down and put the exclamation point in this game. Adama Sanogo on the glass. It's been an absolute tank throughout this entire season, this entire tournament. Sanogo will shoot 2 double bonus shots here at the free throw line. 2:08 left to play. 76% free throw shooter by Sanogo. He'll shoot 2. He's got 15 tonight. UConn can smell it. They can feel it. First shot by Sanogo. Got it. 68-55. It was just a 5-point game a couple of minutes ago in this game. UConn has now turned it up to a 13-point lead. UConn's going to have that one shining moment if they're able to survive this one and close it out. Once again, when San Diego State tries to answer, UConn has done exactly what they've done to every single team in this bracket. They have shut the door right back on them, and they make their free throws. 14-point lead with 2:05 left to go. UConn 18 for 20 at the free throw line at 90%. San Diego State on another scoring drought in the past 4 minutes. You have to make a field goal until that one. Jumper to elbow. It's good by Darian Trammell. So we have a timeout taken on the floor now with 1:55 left to go as the Aztecs burn one. .12-point lead, UConn with 1:58 left as we take the timeout on the floor. UConn under 2 minutes away from cutting down the nets for Dan Hurley, the carpenter. With a logo cutting down the netting, he'll be cutting down the netting. Barring any miracle finish here, UConn will get their 5th national championship. Yes, incredible moment. Yeah, when they play one shining moment, it's incredible. Can't wait to watch the one shining moment video after the conclusion of this one tonight. If you guys are doing the stream, hit the thumbs up, spike the like. Big shout out to all you guys. This channel wouldn't be possible without you guys. Thanks so much to everybody who joined in throughout this tournament. It was incredible. Man, remarkable tournament. One of the best, hands down, all time that I've covered for a March Madness tournament. One of the best that I've seen all time, too, in my opinion. In terms of upsets, it's been amazing. All the upsets we had, the unpredictable games. So much good stuff in this bracket. Upsets, heartbreakers, game-winning shots, calling that buzzer beater by San Diego State over FAU in the Final Four. What a tournament it has been, and wouldn't be possible without you guys. So pat yourselves on the back. You guys, the real legends, real MVPs here on the stream. This channel wouldn't be anything without you guys. You guys have been amazing. I'll be back tomorrow, by the way, covering the Celtics against the Sixers, so feel free to join on board if you guys would like to join in for Celtics versus Sixers tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. UConn up by 12. They have the basketball in the backcourt caravan. Off to Newton. Double team pressure set up here for the final minute 48. Able to cross midcourt. Jackson passes. Cutter. Hawkins. He scores. Driving baseline. Receiving it. And he got it from Jackson for the layup. 71-57. 1:36 left to go. Jumper. Miss rim short. Offensive rebound pulled down by San Diego State. Actually, I'm going to go back to my prediction for this game as UConn picks up a reach and fall with 1:29. My prediction's pretty close right now. At the start of the stream, I predicted UConn 74, San Diego State 63. So that was my prediction in this one. CA, thanks so much for joining in from Japan. Glad to have you in the channel here throughout the tournament. Yeah, it's been awesome. Free throw number 1 is good by Matt Bradley. So Bradley's shooting in the bonus now. He'll have a second one coming up. Just the scoring droughts really cost the Aztecs. They had 4 scoring droughts of 3 minutes or greater in this game. One of them in the first half went over 11 minutes that they had for a scoring drought at one point in this game. So 71-58. I predicted 74-63 UConn by 11. It's pretty close right now. 71-59 as the second free throw is good. I did not think so. Based on how we went into halftime, I did not think that the score would be 74-63 after that first half. It was UConn 36, San Diego State 24 going into halftime. 1:20 left to play. UConn gets fouled. They'll shoot 2 in the double bonus. They've been great tonight at the free throw line. Making free throws wins championships. They're 19 for 21 tonight at the charity stripe. And Storrs, Connecticut, can feel it. A minute and 20 seconds away from their 5th national championship being perfect. And national title games all time. Jim Calhoun, Kevin Ollie, and now Dan Hurley, barring a miracle finish in this one. Tristan Newton, 81% free throw shooter, shoots 2. First one right down the middle. Michael, thanks so much for joining in for the Philippines. Yeah, glad to have you guys in the channel. Feel free to join in for the NBA. Upcoming, I plan on being back tomorrow. Celtics against Sixers, number 2, number 3 in the Eastern Conference. Hoping to cover the NBA playoffs as well. It's one of the biggest growth opportunities in the channel. March Madness, NBA playoffs. Second free throw is good. Corner 3, quick up the floor for the Aztecs. Missed over the rim. Rebound, Caravan, 1:10 left to go. UConn will slow it down. 73-59, and the Huskies will burn the timeouts. Jordan Hawkins raising the roof to his fans. 1:07 left to go. UConn just a dominant tournament for this team. Absolutely dominant tournament, packing Gamble Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut. Whole state of Connecticut rocking tonight, especially East Con, Storrs, Mansfield, Willimantic. It is lit in those areas tonight. First one is good at the line for Hawkins. He was actually fouled down the far side of the floor. So Hawkins made the first one. Yeah, what an incredible tournament. As in terms of upsets, man, this had so many upsets. Second free throw good by Hawkins. They are so good at the free throw line. 23 of 25 tonight and 92% for UConn. Final minute left to go. What a run by San Diego State, the 5 seed, but UConn just another animal. Missed backdoor layup by Bradley. Tough game tonight for Matt Bradley. Finishes just 8 points on 2 for 9 shooting. 45 seconds left to go. Before you sign off tonight, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell, as well as the left corner crowd comes onto its feet here. This crowd in Houston was more attended by San Diego State fans than UConn fans, according to what we're seeing on that screen. The top left corner and the bottom left corner of the screen, all UConn fans. But the entire right side of the arena, San Diego State fans. Much more red and black than dark blue and red in the crowd for this matchup. Doesn't matter in this fashion. The UConn Huskies just so dominant throughout this bracket. Big East basketball, representing the Big East at its finest. This was a UConn team that had a record of 4-5 starting off Big East Conference play. This was a UConn team that was knocked down by the national media, saying that they do not deserve to be in the top 25 at one point in the season when they started off 4-5 in the Big East. Lost by double digits to St. John's. After that, they've been on fire, losing just 4 games by a combined 9 points. And this team wins their previous 12 of 13 games to close out the season. Sister Surround, thanks so much for the dono. Really appreciate it for the dono. You guys, the legends in the channel. 30 seconds left to go. Dan Hurley. What a run for him. Over a decade ago, Dan Hurley wasn't even coaching at the Division I level. He was coaching high school ball. In his first season as a head coach, he took Wagner in a 1-year gap to a losing record to a 25-7 record. Then he went to URI took an 8-21 URI team to 2 NCAA tournaments. Here he is at UConn, year number 5, national championship. Incredible. Derek the Legend, thanks so much, man, for the dono. You guys are awesome. Big East basketball at its finest. Looking forward to next season. There's potential for another Big East team to be cutting down the nets next April. Could be UConn once again. These freshman players that they have on this team, it's incredible. They got contributions from Caravan, Calcaterra, and of course, the future is bright with Donovan Clingan at 7'2". Andre Jackson, 1 for 2 at the free throw line. Dan Hurley, hugging it out with Andre Jackson. Point forward for this team. He has been phenomenal in this bracket. 25 seconds left to go. Jackson came into this game with 38 assists to just 8 turnovers to 5 NCAA tournament games. Pounded every single team by double-digit points. A rebound goes to Dan Hurley's son. In the final 10 seconds, Andrew comes up with a rebound as Andrew Hurley has the honors to dribble out the clock, and this game has gone final. The UConn Huskies, congratulations, are the 2023 NCAA Tournament National Champions, winning by over an average of 18 points per game to every single one of their opponents through 6 games in the bracket. Rocking in Storrs, Connecticut tonight. 5-0 in national championship games, and Dan Hurley gets his first ever national championship in year number 5 for the Huskies as it goes final. 76-59 the final score. The number 4 seed, the UConn Huskies, have won it all, winning every single team by double digits in the bracket. What a tournament, everyone. Incredible tournament. Adama Sanogo finishes off with a double-double, 17 points, 10 rebounds. It was Tristan Newton. That was the top scorer, actually, in this game. 19 points, 10 rebounds. He came from East Carolina. Walking bucket last year at ECU. He averaged above 17 points per game. Transfers off to UConn. One of very multiple moving pieces on this team that can get you a bucket, can lock down defensively. Newton had 4 assists, 2 steals, 16 points by Jordan Hawkins. UConn finishes 24 for 27 at the free throw line. Those 3 having a massive game, double digits between double-doubles by Sanogo and Newton in this game today. Alex Caravan with 3 total blocks. Only a freshman. Donovan Clingan, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do next year when the minutes tick up. 7'2" for Donovan Clingan. Future is bright in Stores for this team. Joey Calcaterra made 2 threes off the bench. Naheem Aline, a transfer from Virginia Tech, he got 6 points. Just top to bottom. Just such a tough team. Like, how in the world did they lose 8 times this season? How in the world did this UConn team get swept by Xavier? This UConn team, last month and a half, 2 months plus, they peaked at the right time. They found their identity. And they got it done. 5 championships dating back to 1999. That's just under a 25-year clip. 1999, 2004, 2011, 2014, and now 2023. The UConn Huskies put 2023 on the banner to Stores at the Gamble Pavilion. What a game, everybody. What a tournament. Thanks all for joining in throughout this tournament. Really appreciate everybody for joining in. Feel free to join back in for the NBA and the NBA playoffs coming up. It's been a pleasure being able to grow with you guys. Having every single one of you be on the streams, watching this channel. It's been awesome. The growth of this channel. Almost to 24K subscribers because of you guys. Yeah, they started off 4-5 in the Big East. This was a team that didn't even win the Big East Conference tournament for UConn. Came up short, lost by 2 against Marquette. They went 13-7 in the Big East. They had the same record as Providence in the conference. They had a tiebreaker over PC. They had the 4 seed in the Big East tournament. They started off the conference 4-5. In mid-January, they hit a skid. They went 4-5. And a lot of the people in the national media said that UConn was not deserving to even be in the top 25. That's what the national media said for a lot of people, that why is UConn in the top 25? Just so dominant against non-conference teams this season. They beat every single non-conference team by double digits. The closest game against a non-conference team was against Oklahoma State. They won 74-64. They just dominated. UConn 17-0 against non-conference teams this season. One day of preparation, it's just, they were just another animal to prepare. And this tournament provided a gateway to deep, deep teams. And the deepest teams kept on advancing. The UConn Huskies showed why their depth was so important in this bracket from top to bottom. Hey, thanks so much, Andres, for being a part here on the channel. Feel free to join back tomorrow. I plan on covering the Celtics against the Sixers tomorrow night at 8 o'clock if you guys would like to come on board for some NBA action. Yeah, this has been a wild tournament. Like, I'm in the same boat as you, NFL fan. I would have never predicted this Final Four. Only 2 people in the bracket challenge got this one correct for UConn national champions. Big shout out to Vegas. He was one of the 2. Back-to-back years for Vegas in the bracket challenge group that he finishes in 2nd place. That part, number 1. So that part finished first in the bracket challenge. Vegas at number 2. What a season for college basketball. Throughout the course of the year, upsets. Seemed like there was an upset every other day or so at least throughout the college hoop season and the regular season. We get to the tournament, the upsets are for real. We have a 15 seed that made it to the Sweet 16, a 16 seed that made it to the round of 32. Got a 9 seed with FAU with a 35 victory season that made it to the Final Four. And then the 5 versus 4 that concludes tonight with UConn winning the chip. Yeah, they got a couple big NBA draft decisions looming. I would imagine Jordan Hawkins definitely going to go to the NBA for Hawkins. He's projected as a mid-first rounder. A lot of draft boards. Adama Sanogo, big projection for him. But even if Sanogo leaves, they got depth in that center position. Donovan Clingan. I'm intrigued to see this man next season. Like, he's 7'2". He can run the floor. He's going to have a monster season for UConn. I looked up his numbers during one of the timeout breaks. If Clingan had played the full 40 minutes, he would have averaged over 21 points per game and over 17 rebounds per game and 5.5 blocks per game for Clingan. If he played the full 40 minutes per game, he only plays around 13 minutes per game, and he averages 7 and 6 with almost 2 blocks per game. Yeah, they got a 5-star coming in for Stephon Castle. Dan Hurley bringing in a top 5 recruiting class. What a moment. Especially for Donovan Clingan, too. He had lost his mother in 2017. Born in Connecticut. Bristol, Connecticut native. Top 50 recruit in his first season. What a game for the UConn Huskies. An amazing tournament. Hey, thanks so much for joining in, Michael. They get the trophy presentation right now. UConn gonna be hanging up that banner at Gamble Pavilion and stores. I just want to make sure that it's confirmed. It should be Sanogo. Sanogo was so dominant in this tournament, so he should be the most outstanding player being named for Adama Sanogo. What a roller coaster of a tournament. I remember the first game played by a Big East team. They all played on the Friday. Xavier had the first game of a Big East team in the tournament, and Xavier was down by double digits against Kennesaw State. And I remember on my stream, I was covering Michigan State against USC at the time. I was saying, man, the Big East better not be a let down in this tournament, because I had a lot of Big East teams going far in my bracket. And then Xavier came from behind. The Big East tonight closes it out with a championship to the name of the conference with UConn for number 5. Yeah, we'll have to see, Alan. I think that's the biggest long shot out of all the Boston sports teams, most likely. That or the Patriots. I think realistic it will be the Bruins and the Celtics who have a realistic chance for a championship. But yeah, you never know, because anything could happen in baseball. I think, yeah, Patriots, it's going to be the toughest one out of the New England sports teams to get a championship, because they haven't really done as much in this offseason. The road to being a Boston sports fan, though, starts here for the next 2 months. UConn National Championship, and then a good chance of the Bruins and the Celtics could win the Natty as well. Could win the chip. UConn raises up the championship trophy. They waited 9 years for this moment. (31-8) record to close out for the UConn Huskies. Dan Hurley in his first season as head coach, he took over for Kevin Ollie, which they went 14-18 in the American back in 2018. 14-18 record, 7-11 in the American. Hurley in his first season took over in a rebuilding squad, went 16-17, just 6-12 in the American. One more year in the ACC for him. In year 2, built it up to go 19-12, and then went to the Big East in 2020. They finished with a record of 15-8, 2 first-round losses against Maryland with James Bouknight back in 2021. Lost it last year against New Mexico State. Sanogo got shut down in that game. They lost to the 5 seed. They went 23-10. And here they are, 31-8 this season in a national championship. Just incredible. I'll stay on until I know about the most outstanding player here. I believe it's Sanogo, but until we confirm it, I haven't seen a graphic yet on the screen for it. Got a couple things on Twitter, but I want to just confirm it before I do sign off so we have the right most outstanding player to the 2023 NCAA tournaments. But I believe it should and would be Sanogo. We got a very good opportunity that we will be seeing more wins in the future in stores. If not one, they're looking to see if they can make it 2 next year. UConn's women's team this morning was projected by ESPN as the way too early #1 team for next season to win a national championship. Yep, there he is. Most outstanding player, Adama Sanogo, finished with a double-double tonight. 17 points, 10 rebounds for Adama Sanogo. Just so dominant throughout this bracket. There we go, as he has been named NCAA Tournament Most Outstanding Player for Adama Sanogo. Thanks so much all for joining in, being a part in the stream, everybody. Before I do wrap up, hit the thumbs up, spike the like, hit the subscribe. Feel free to join in tomorrow for Celtics against Sixers, as the grind doesn't stop after this. We'll be back for the NBA season for the next 2 months plus the play-in games and the playoffs coming up in the very near future. We're going to sign off to the channel members. Really appreciate everybody who has joined in, been a part here on this channel. It has been phenomenal. Throughout the tournament, we have grown to almost 24,000 subscribers. You guys, the real legends, MVPs in the stream. Here's the channel members before I wrap up. Shoutouts go to Jason, Rajip, Russell, Oreo Pudding, Bradley, Sister Surround, Braden, Mario, Bino, Mark, John, Kenneth, Tristan, Jess, Ahino, Joseph, Vegas, SG Sports Talk, Derek, Michael, Warren, I Am Ghost, Kelly, Asia, Laszlo, Joseph, Roderick, Reynaldo, Didi, Katie, Sampo, Katie, Barco, Siegel, Woopig, Ian, Oink Oink, Emmanuel, and Robin. UConn gets one shining moment. They are the #1 team this season, cutting down the nets out of 363 total in Division I men's college basketball. Thanks so much for joining in. It's been an incredible tournament, everybody. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks so much all, and enjoy the rest of your Monday night.